Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on where you're watching. We are back. It's Team Kop-Ish Tuesday night live show. Not Monday this time. It is Tuesday. And always when we get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. Jiff, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Looking forward to a nice, healthy Liverpool in the mud conversation today. Let's get it done, bro.
I'll be honest, bro. I haven't really got that in the schedule. One thing I did want to say, though, for people who were saying that me, you, and Matt were a bit negative after the result on Saturday, I mean, we had those extra 2 points. Now we're going to the last game of the season to play for something, right?
And that's the thing that I cannot stand about when you don't just get your work done, you know? If you just get your work done, you know? But there's a part of today's conversation that has to be said where I'm not trying to do the blame game, but there was something very scandalous over the weekend that happened towards us. So, yeah.
I mean, let's not scoot over that because we ain't really chopped up the ref, me and you. Me and Matt have. Who I can't remember. I think I shouted to Uncle Rods. Big up Uncle Rods. I was messaging with Uncle Rods. Should I be honest with you? You see the whole ref stuff and the officiating. Those aren't the little things in life. Those are the big things in life.
And by the way, to everyone asking for fries and a Big Mac, we don't have that.
Next order, please. I'm just going to be real with you, Drift, from my standing, and obviously chime in and let me know what you're thinking. Klopp called out Paul Tierney, and absolutely rightly so, right? But I think because of that, it's made a rod for our backs now, and the officials and all that, they're going to have it out for us. They're going to have it in for us. And no matter what happens now, I feel as though we're always going to be playing against 12 men when we start games. But Jurgen Klopp was absolutely right in calling out Paul Tierney and the officials. And I will fully back Klopp on what he's done. But what I will say, we're fighting a losing battle now. Klopp, here's the thing. If Klopp didn't say anything, we're all sitting there going, why isn't Klopp speaking out on this? Us as Liverpool fans are all backing Klopp for speaking out about it. But what happens now is we are done for.
And if we never brought it up, it would have just continued to happen. That you've got to, you have to let them know that you're aware of what they're doing, or they'll just continue to do it, you know. And they're going to continue to do it anyway. But at least now we've stuck up for ourselves.
Yeah, the thing is, referees in general, we've seen it this season. It's just a really poor standard. But there are things happening in games where you're sitting there just going, something came right here.
Yeah,
like something's so wrong here.
It's madness, bro.
I don't know how that and when that changes, if I'm going to be honest.
It won't change, bro. It won't. It just won't change. It just won't change. It hasn't changed. Like, come on, let's be honest. This is going all the way back to like even when that Howard Webb used to be a referee and stuff. Like, and it used to you can tell when there's like a bias sometimes. And I'm not saying only Liverpool get it. There are other teams that get it, but you just know you get like a sixth sense. You're like, yeah, this ain't like your regular, the referees just being bad. Like there's something going on here. Like, do you know what I mean? But that situation with and again, I'm not blaming anybody for why Liverpool have not got top four. Because I saw a couple of people in the comments as well. And it was like, I really don't understand how people hear what they want. People never actually listen to what you say. They just take what you say and make of it what they want. And that is a really weird way to live life. Like,
Try playing devil's advocate on this channel, bro.
No, for real. But like, I have absolutely no idea how. So, I clearly stated in what I said about De Zerbi that I just found it very strange, and it was like, oh, come on, man, like you're a dickhead for that. That he dropped and did all the rotation thing and didn't really try and play a good game against Newcastle. Yet for some reason against Arsenal, he was really like on it. And then the following game after the Newcastle game, lo and behold, all the big boys are back in again. Do you know what I mean? It was like, so what was it about that Newcastle game that made you think it weren't important? So I just asked questions, but it is on us. We didn't get top four because of us. Not De Zerbi, not Brighton. I was just making a point because it just looked a little bit weird. So I'm going to make another point. Whether or not the high boot for Mings should have been a red card, that's up to interpretation. I believe, but when I looked at it, kind of looks like a red card to me. But I know other times in the past things have happened and other players haven't been red carded. We had a conversation about Jota, for example, which I think is slightly different. But, you know, hey, then there's the Bruno Guimaraes at the weekend with the really high, you know, boot on the knee. Some people will say it was really high. I looked at it again. I thought, well, it wasn't really forceful. I can kind of see why it was a yellow, but probably people will get red for that. So those kind of things there, those are 50-50 give or take. Some people will say, yeah, they are. Some people will say they're not. So I'm not going to bring that part into the conversation because even you and me might make different. You might think it was a red card. I don't know. So
I definitely think Jota one against Spurs was a red.
No, I mean the Gakpo one. Like, do you think Mings on Gakpo was a red card at the weekend?
Yeah, not just because of the actual foul itself, the fact that Mings was last man.
I didn't.
If I'm not mistaken, was he?
No, was he? No, I don't think he was last man. Was he last? I don't think he was last man.
Oh, I can't. I might be slightly, but
then again, you're being consistent because you said that you thought the Jota one was a red card.
Yeah,
anyway.
but remember, I said that on. I said that on the game day.
Yeah, you did. I said it was an orange. I think it's one of them that's just right in the middle where it's like you can take it whichever way you want. I wouldn't have sent him off. But if he'd got sent off, I could have never argued why he got sent off.
But here's the thing. Sorry to cut you. He did that challenge on Skip. Skip should have been sent off in that game as well.
Skip should have been on the pitch. Exactly. So that one evened itself out on that day anyway, really.
See, here's the thing. I don't buy into the notion of decisions even themselves out because here's the thing.
Not across the season.
Skip, right. I don't think it ever does, bro. I think it's impossible for decisions to even themselves out because it's different games, different weeks. Shall I tell you why Spurs will feel hard done by in the same way we're frustrated at it? Skip shouldn't have been on the pitch because he should have been sent off for what he did to Diaz. In theory, Skip's not on the pitch. Jota doesn't do that. But hey, he's still on the pitch, right? If Jota sees red and Tottenham get an equaliser, they might see it in themselves that we could have gone on and got the win. But to play another role, if Jota's on the pitch, Jota gets the winner, right? They don't lose 3 points. They still gain a point. So I don't see how you can't even out decisions, which is why I personally get so annoyed when decisions are wrong and they're so obviously wrong because it's impossible to even out decisions. For example, let's say Leicester, they didn't get a decision at the beginning of the season. If they get one towards the end of the season, it might not matter.
Across the season, I agree with you. But I think in that game, both people should have been sent off. Both people weren't. You kind of just go, okay, whatever else happened in the game, at least both teams came away thinking something should have happened. So it's technically even. Do you get what I mean? Even though we're more hard done by because theirs happens first. Because in that game, what you could say as well, bro, is it was 3-1, I think, at the time when Skip did that. And if they go down to 10 men, their comeback don't even happen. Like, let's be honest, with 10 men at Anfield, they're not coming back. Do you know what I mean?
What? When Skip got... When Skip should have been sent off.
Yeah, when Skip should have been sent off, it was either 2-0 or 3-1 at the time. We had a 2-goal advantage.
It was like, we had a 2. I think it was 2-0 because it was in the first half.
Yeah, whichever. So they're not coming back. 10 men at Anfield, their little hurrah and their energy and everything they did, that's not happening with 10 men. They would have just sat in and just tried to make sure the scoreline didn't go up. You know what I mean? So we still would have won the game, I believe, if Skip would have got sent off. So, but anyway, but let's get back to the real crooks, bro. Like you said, let's not skip over it. The explanation for why Gakpo's goal was given offside is literally like being caught in bed with another woman, and then when she says to you, "What are you doing?" you say, "I was sleepwalking." It is the most liberty scandalous, do you think I'm an idiot answer you could ever give, bro. He didn't intentionally touch the ball, Cal. That is what they're trying to say. He flicked his leg up and kicked the ball, but he didn't deliberately try to hit the ball. I mean, bro. I mean, bro.
Yeah, but it makes very little sense to me. In fact, it makes no sense to me, if I'm going to be honest, Drift. It makes no sense. But as you said, and quite rightly so, and again, I know people think I'm Klopp out. I know people think I hate Klopp and this, that, and the other, but I will keep the same energy. The reason why we're not getting top 4 this season is purely based on what we've done as a club. I think the players have let themselves down. I think the manager and the coaching staff have let themselves down, and the owners always let themselves. Well, they always let themselves down. Like, as a club collectively, the arrogance we've shown, in my opinion, since 2019 has come back and really bitten us in the arse. And I think that is why we are in the situation we're in, where we're looking down the barrel of a loaded summer. But before we get into the nooks and crannies of it, I know in the title it says Matip could be sold based on what Neil Jones said, but he also did mention Tsimikas would have some interest. And I want to start with Tsimikas, Drift, because I don't know if you've seen some of the videos of him sort of crying and waving to the crowd. That to me doesn't look like a player who's staying at the club or believes they're staying at the club. One, how do you feel about Tsimikas leaving? And 2, do you think he actually does leave?
I do think he leaves. And I'll be really, really upset about it.
Sorry, brother, you're a little quiet. I don't know if it's just me, but you're a little quiet.
How about now?
Yeah, a bit better.
My back. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Still a little quiet though. It might just be me though. No one else is complaining, so it might be me.
Oh, I hope not. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, let me know if it keeps.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Yeah, I do think he's gonna leave, bro, and I'll be really upset if he does go. I think he's a really, really quality player, but I fully understand why he would be frustrated, and at his age, why he would believe that a move would be better for him.
So here's the thing. We know how many players we need right now if no one leaves. Like if no one's actively sold. This presents another issue potentially for me. Now, there are all alternatives and stuff like that. And me and Matt kind of touched on this in the most recent members video where I said about where we had that awkward conversation about Robbo, etc. Let's say Tsimikas was to leave, Drift. How would you go about replacing? Would you try and get someone who's better than Robbo? Or would you try and go and get... In fact, no. I'm going to change the question because I know what you're going to say. I'm going to guess you're like me. You're going to try and get someone as good as Robbo or better than Robbo. Do you think we will do that, though? Or do you think we'll go for a project type left back in the mold of a Calvin Ramsey, for example?
I think the fact that we've got Robbo in the squad means that maybe Matt might get his wish and we buy a left-sided centre-back who is just as comfortable at left-back at 3 at the back.
No, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Okay. No, but that's what I believe we would do. So I think we'd have an orthodox left-back in Robbo, then we'd buy... and I know who Matt wants, but just to make it easier for people who don't know who Matt was talking about, a Nathan Ake type centre-back who is just as comfortable at left-back as he is at centre-back, so he can play whichever one is necessary.
Would that be counterproductive, though? Because in my opinion, if Tsimikas stays, in my opinion, we still need a left-footed centre-back.
I don't know if I'd call it counterproductive based on the fact that I think about 50% of our games minimum next season will be with the inverted right back, and we'll be having 3 at the back a lot. And therefore, I don't think it will be as big of a deal because we might actually start preferring that player who's more comfortable in the 3 when we switch than being a proper orthodox left back like Robbo is, who maybe is a little bit uncomfortable pulling in to play more of the left-sided centre back.
Would you not go for someone like a Rafa Guerrero, for example, available on a free?
If I knew as much about him as everybody else, maybe so, but I'm not too familiar with his game. Is he a brilliant left-sided centre back? Yeah.
No, left back. You do know Rafa Guerrero, the Portuguese left back, plays for Dortmund. We've spoken about him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's free.
Yeah, he's his contract.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, that's a bit of a no-brainer then, isn't it? Then again, could we maybe go and get somebody who's better and pay because you get what you pay for?
All right. So here's the thing. The current climate of left backs, I've not really done much researching because we've had Robbo, we've had Simicast. It's a position that if I'm going to be honest, I've completely ignored going into the summer because I'm like, we're all right there. Like that's the one position where we seemed all right. Looking at it now, we might not be. Off the top of my head, I think of Ait Nouri from Wolves. I think someone like Teo Hernandez from AC Milan would be amazing for us. But AC Milan are going to want a stupid amount of money.
I was thinking, that's how a great man think alike, Cal. I was watching that Champions League game and I was thinking, hold on a minute. Yeah, I was thinking he would be perfect for Liverpool. Yeah. And he's got that dog in him as well. You know, you've been saying you want to have a few more players that got that dog in him. He's got that dog in him, bro. He ain't having a bar of it.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Then you've got Estepurtian from Brighton. I don't even know if I've said his name right. He's very good, but Brighton's going to be stupid money.
Yeah, they pay 70 mil for him. They're going to want at least 50.
Shout out to Lakers, who I speak to on a regular basis. Kyle Walker-Peters. He plays right back and left back. A player that we both like.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a big fan of playing a right-footed player left back because I think they become predictable unless they're an extremely techie player, which I don't think Kyle Walker-Peters is. I ain't gonna try and pronounce that. I might just call him Estu.
Estupinia. I think that's how Estupinia.
Big up yourself, Serge. I appreciate that. Kyle Walker-Peters again.
He can't play left-sided centre back though, Cal. That would be the only issue. He's an orthodox right back, left back. Do you get what I mean?
No, but this is what I'll be honest with you, Drift. I don't want to buy a centre back who can, like, if he can play left back, it's a bonus. I don't want that though. I want a left-footed left back.
So you wouldn't prefer like a Joe Gomez, but just on the left side?
No.
Okay.
Again, like so my dream scenario is Gomez, Trent, and Calvin Ramsey or Connor Bradley, whoever stays out of the two, they cover right back next season, but predominantly Gomez and Calvin / Connor. So Trent can play midfield full time, but can play right back in an emergency situation. Left back, Robbo and someone else. And then because Joey's doing up right back, you have Kanate, Matip, Virgil, and I'd go for Inacio because I think that's realistic. Gvardiol would be my ideal player, but Inacio for me is the realistic option.
Yeah, like Gvardiol would eat up the budget too much as well.
But we don't even know what the budget is, brother. Let's be real.
But
we might not even have a budget.
Yeah. And the budget won't be budgeting, whichever way we look at it.
You know what I mean? But it goes back to we need players now who are going to come in and challenge whoever is in the starting 11. I'm done with having a starting 11, Drift. I'm done with having players who are certified starters unless you're Alisson Becker. Dare I say it, or Trent in midfield. As much as I love Salah, and you know I love Salah, I don't want him to be an automatic starter anymore. I want someone who comes in and says to Salah, yeah, I'm ready for the battle.
Well, we know how to solve that problem.
Yeah, but that's where I'm at with it now because
I was about to go wild with it. I don't think you know how crazy what my plan is for that.
Well, I'm not just gonna let that go. Like,
all right, bear with me. I'm living in dreamland for a little while, like some people.
Go on.
It looks like Vinny Jr. just needs a family right now.
Oh, brother, we're gonna speak on that.
So, Diaz floats between right and left wing, and you just go and save Vinny from the outrageous atrocities that he's experiencing right now in Spain, and you bring him in, and you make Vinny our left winger.
All right, Vinny Jr.
Project Vinny as well. I heard Stevie wants to be a winger. Project Vinny, bro.
Yeah, I'll be real with you. I think Stevie's either going to be a centre back or a centre midfielder.
Okay.
The way he's playing, on a Saturday, he just that guy. He likes to tackle and pass it to the flair players. To be honest,
Project Caicedo. I see you.
Yeah, but what's his name? Stevie, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got
Stevie started as a DM,
though.
bro.
He's got
to work on his game. But bro, I'll be real with you. If Vinny comes to Liverpool, Diaz has to sit down on the bench.
Yeah, and Vinny. So Diaz can just literally be right side or left sided cover, depending on where we need him.
No, this is my problem, Drift. Diaz, Gakpo, Jota, Nunes, all these man, they are not right wingers. I don't want round holes and square pegs anymore. I'm done with it, bro. I want
Diaz
people who play their positions. Huh?
Diaz could do it though, bro.
No,
Diaz
bro.
could do it.
No, he can't.
He could, bro. He could do it.
Diaz is not the guy for the right wing, bro. And I love Diaz again. He's not the guy for the right wing. In the same way, Salah can't play left wing in our system.
No, but you got to remember, we're talking about filling in, not like consistently being there week in, week out. We're talking about filling in.
I'm not looking for a man to fill in. Pause. I'm looking for someone who comes and says to Salah, brother, you've had 2 bad games. That's my position now. You're the Egyptian.
But we should not make the sacrifice for Vinny, though.
No, bruv.
Because we're not going to buy another right winger unless we got rid of a player, and we're not going to get rid of anyone in our attack.
Bro, you know how, bruv, at this point, I'm not really attached to anyone, bro. Anyone can get.
Well, anyone can.
Not anyone. I'm capping.
Okay.
That was for the content. That was for the content. But no, on a real, bro, I'll be real with you. In the same way, if Kane's available in the summer and you say to me, one of your strikers has got to go, for Kane to come in, we'll have a conversation. If it means one of our forwards has to go for Vinny to come in, but that's never going to happen. But Vinny's a left winger. You don't put Vinny, who's one of the best left wingers in world football, if not the best left winger in world football, and tell him to float between the right and the left because you want to be silly about things. You say to him, you play in your best position. That's like Real Madrid buying Salah and playing him left wing to accommodate, I don't know, someone else. You don't do them things.
I truly believe it is possible, you know, and I could be living in dream world. I think the only thing that stops it happening is the fact that our owners aren't ambitious, because I do truly believe that Vinny, what's been said, what's going on, the way the league are treating him, I don't think he wants to be in Spain anymore. And it goes beyond Real Madrid at that point. Like, it's like, yeah, he has that love for Real Madrid. But if you really think about the way he's being treated now on a consistent basis, he has become the target. They're not backing him. They're not backing down. In fact, they're making it worse by standing on what happened and believing it's true. I think that right there is the type of thing that could force Vinny to want to get that move. And Real Madrid can't really do anything about somebody whose heart's not in it anymore. They just, like, it will get to the point where they kind of have to accept. And then that's when it gets to the point where, do you have 120, 130, 140, 150, which is what it would cost to get him to be able to. And unfortunately, that's where it would happen, where Liverpool just wouldn't have that. You know what I mean? He's played against us. He knows our quality. He knows we are elite level. I think if we were willing to pay the amount, it could be convinced.
Here's the thing, Drift. 2 things. One, I do think he genuinely loves Real Madrid, and I think that's a last resort for him. I think he just wants things to change. And look, as much as we're in fantasy land right now, my heart goes out to Vinny Jr., though, because I'll be honest with you, for the stuff he's gone through, I wouldn't have kept my cool the way he's kept his cool. If someone's had him in a chokehold and that person got him sent off, like, I'm gonna be real with you. After the game, I'm catching him in a tunnel and we're gonna see if you can throw me in a chokehold again when we're face to face, because you can't do them things and just expect a little push away. Vinny should have stepped on his face, bro. I'll just be real with you.
It's absolutely madness.
My heart goes out to Vinny. Big up to Ancelotti for standing up for Vinny as well. Big up to Ancelotti. And big up to Rudiger. And I can't remember who the other player was who stood there and stood in front of the crowd to protect him as well.
I don't believe Real Madrid have done anywhere near enough to stand up for him, though, and that's the problem.
No, I agree. The problem is, though, Drift, you're fighting against an institution that doesn't care for Vinny, or I'm just going to say it, for black people like that. So
no, 100%. But Real Madrid are a staple within that organization, and therefore, if they stand up, things get done. Let's keep it a buck. Barcelona and Real Madrid are the two teams that can make change in that league. Do you get what I mean? Because they are what that is. Like, without those two teams, La Liga is nothing. They are the representation of Spanish football. They are doing nothing to stand up for their best player. That's the worst thing about it, is that the race thing should be an automatic anyway. But even if it wasn't a race issue and it was just their player, like something happening with, he's their best player. They should be just backing him on that alone. But then you put the human part on top of it, and it's even worse that they're not backing him. It's like, what?
Yeah. Apparently Perez is trying to change things. Here's the thing, Drift. The only way this sort of thing changes is if players just walk off the pitch and don't come back on. But I'm gonna be real with you, Drift. If I was at work and someone said something racist to me, it's not a can we discuss this? It's a, oh no, Cal's getting arrested, or Cal's walked out of work and he ain't gonna be coming back until that person's not there. Like, I'm not. You think I'm kicking ball to entertain people after you're being racially abusive? No, not me.
The whole stadium, Cal. The whole stadium.
Bruv, it could be one person, bruv.
No, I know, but this is what's, the whole stadium was shouting monkey. Do you actually know how outrageous that is, Cal?
Of course I do. And
the whole stadium.
And Rich, I'm not trying to dig you out when I say this, because I know you're not trying to come at me. You're trying to. I know where you're coming from when I say this. I think there's a difference between quitting and walking off in protest. If all of those players on the pitch walked off and said, we ain't coming back on and we ain't finishing this game, it's done for. Everyone in that stadium, you revoke their ticket and that's done. Financial penalties don't work. They don't work. Clubs have money. Find out what financial penalty can you give. I'll use Liverpool as an example because I don't want to throw any other team under the bus. Let's say in a wild world, Liverpool fans went off and started being racially abusive. And then you find Liverpool, £3 million? £3 million for Liverpool is nothing. We just spent £4 million on Artemelo. But financial penalties don't do anything. Points reductions, I don't care about it. Get them to walk off the pitch and they don't come back on.
You know what I think should be done, Cal? And the thing I'm going to say should progressively get worse every time it happens. I think you should get a 6-point deduction and 3 games behind closed doors. We have to play with no fans.
No, bro.
I think that should be the first time it happens. That should be the punishment. And then if it happens again, you double the punishment. And you keep on doing it until people start to realize there is a consequence. Because if the club know that you're going to be cost 6 points, but for doing it, they will really make sure that the fact. Could you imagine the financial implications of 3 games without fans as well? We saw what lockdown did, how much it actually does affect the finances if you don't have any crowd. A 6-point deduction could be you're relegated. It could be you don't finish in Europe. You can't win the title, whatever it may be. So every single time something happens, there should be a very severe punishment put on the club because you can't control your fans. You're the one who has got people in your crowd letting this happen, doing this, whatever the case may be. And if you lot believe that that's not enough, let's up the points deduction. Let's up the games behind closed doors. But the club need to know Because I tell you what, Real Madrid would be going all out to make sure if there was a point deduction or there was something like that was going to happen because of it. Do you know, I'm Valencia, sorry, or you know what I mean? Like they'll be doing everything they could to make sure that weren't happening, and then maybe something would actually get done about this crap.
You know, fair enough, Drift. I can't lie. I still think players should walk off the pitch, but yeah, hit them where it hurts.
Oh yeah, and that as well. Yeah.
But also, brother, I'm not being funny, Drift. We can't walk down a London road and steal a Snickers from a shop without getting caught on CCTV. You cannot tell me in this day and age, in big 2023, people are saying racial stuff and you can't find out who it is.
They're on camera, Cal.
Brother, they're on camera.
They're on camera, bruv.
Bro, if I go and steal something from a shop, within 24 to 48 hours, I'm done. It's on camera.
Bruv, if you're in Croydon, you ain't even making it out of the city bit, bro.
You're not even making it out of the town. You're not even making it out of town. But you're telling me you can't identify these people who are doing it.
Crazy.
Vinny's getting monkey emojis under his post on social media. You can't find IP addresses. We've got people in our community who could find IP addresses like that. But the big government, Instagram, Facebook, and all these people, but we've been racially abused. We've reported it. What's happened? Nothing. Something's got to change, man. Well, what's going to happen next is you're just going to see a revolt. There's only so much us black people and Asian people are going to take before we start letting things happen and start taking things into our own hands. And keep pushing us and you're going to see what happens, isn't it?
Ironically, I was watching Do the Right Thing last night still.
Like, there's only so much you can push people before they react. Like, so, yeah, I'll be honest though, Drift. There is no chance of us getting Vinny Jr. for two reasons. One, we'd end up in a bidding war that we ain't got the capacity to deal with. And two, we ain't in Champions League, bruv.
Yeah, I was living in a dream world. But I just wish that Liverpool would get into a position where these things were reality, you know? Because for Man City, for example, it's a reality. Like if Vinny actually became available, Man City would actually be involved and they'd probably get the job done.
I'm trying to think who else would he could. I mean, PSG would probably look at him.
I don't think he'd want to play in the French league at this stage of his career, but yeah, they're the team that could financially get involved.
Yeah.
Chelsea, maybe. I don't know if they've spent all of their money now, but I'm sure they would try everything they could.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I feel like Chelsea would have a better chance than us, but they're not in Champions League or Europe at all, which is weird. Again, speaks to the nature of the club, though, innit?
100%.
Let's go back to Joel Matip.
Yeah.
Would you sell Matip this summer?
Yeah.
You
unfortunately.
would?
Yeah, because
that's hit me left the field. Go true, bro.
I adore Matip, man, and he has been an absolute legend for this football club. Not only on the pitch, but off the pitch. The guy's character, you can tell he's one of the people in the changing room. He's always picked for the photo shoots because he's good looking and he can sell the product as well. He's a model family man. Now, everything about him is amazing, apart from his injury record, Cal. Like, if you actually think about it, he's only been injury-free for 2 out of the 7 Klopp seasons. And at his age now, that's a worry. Because if he was like 25, I'd be like, no. He's 31 now, right? 32. Like he's on the wrong side of 30 now. If you're injury prone, I just think while there's still some value there, do it. And I would really be upset to watch Matip leave. But as you said, now maybe it's time to drop a little bit of sentiment and be a little bit more ruthless. And the only way we can get a new centre-back is if one goes. I believe. I don't think we'll buy a centre-back without one leaving. If it has to be Matip, then, you know, so be it. Reluctant.
All right, guys. I've just put a poll in the chat for you guys to vote on this. So please do vote if you're watching this on YouTube. I'm the opposite. And here's the thing, just everything you said is right. The reason I'd keep him though is because I'm the opposite. I think Gomez should move to right back permanently, which would then leave us again down to 3 centre backs, which would allow a space for a centre back to come in. So I do think keeping Matip would actually work out well for us, because he'd then become 4th choice and allow us to bring in someone else who would challenge Virgil. So Konate would be 1st choice for the right-hand side. Matip would be backup for Konate. And then Virgil would be battling whoever we bring in. And because we bought Matip on a free, I would keep him one more season, let his contract run down, then release him, and then we'll know whether we need a left-sided centre-back to replace Virgil, or Virgil move those to a right to battle with Konate. We can just give ourselves another season where we have to not potentially fill in for 2. Because if we lose Matip, I think we need 2 centre-backs personally. And Nat Phillips ain't going to get a chance. I reckon Nat Phillips is gone in the summer.
I see the logic in what you're saying still. I can't argue with it. I fully see the logic in it. That would make sense. So what in the Europa League, for example, or in the Carling Cup, you would just have Joey as a starting right back, like literally from the beginning of the competition.
Oh no, so Joey would be my starting right back in the Prem.
Oh shit. Oh, so you're going full midfield Trent, like you're going like no more inverted. You're going like
I want Rasta man in the middle of the field, bro. What don't you understand? I want dreads in the field, bro. Edgar Davids did it. Why can't Trent, bro? I need dreads in the middle of the park now, bro.
But then that means we need a right back then.
Yeah, I know.
Unless you really want the 2 youngsters to actually Drifty, be
I know, Drifty, I know. But I don't think we get a right back.
There's a lot of positions that we need to purchase, bro. We're not going to do all this, bro.
This is what I'm saying. Here's the thing. I know what I'd want, but I also know we're not going to be able to get all of those things. And I think because Trent can still play right back, because Gomez is there, because one of Ramsey or Bradley will be there, I think we can survive a season where we rotate with those 3. And then next summer, we try and appoint someone who's absolutely brilliant.
Or hopefully by then Ramsey's developed.
Yeah. And then from there, we have our 4 centre-backs, which allows us to play 3 at the back if we need to, because we'll have a left-footed centre-back. Or if we want to go inverted, we play the left centre-back, left back, and play Trent inverted. Gives us options, in my opinion. Then Trent coming into midfield means that we potentially can get away with only getting 2 centre midfielders. I hate to say it. I think Gakpo might be used as in centre midfield again next season, now and again. But we need a forward as well. If you're actually breaking down our squad and being realistic without having any emotional ties, we need someone to replace Adrian. We need a right back. We need a centre back. We need 3 centre midfielders, and we need a right winger. There's no way we're signing 7 players in one window. So if we're looking at 4, which I think is realistic, I would go for a centre back, 2 midfielders, and 1 forward, which for me allows us to compete for the league.
I could live with that if that's what, because 4 players is the absolute maximum that we'd bring in. Especially we're talking about team players who can play in the first team.
So that's where I look. And here's the thing, Drift. Look, we may disagree on players and things like that who come in. I know you're a big fan of Mount. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Mount. But you see, if we go out and we feel the position we need, then at least I can turn around and go, we've done what we needed to do. We'll see what happens. But one thing I can't live with is us not buying players that need to be bought. Like, for me, the priorities this summer is a centre-back, 2 centre midfielders. One of them has to be a 6 and a forward. If we do not get that, at least we're in trouble again next season, in my opinion. And that worries me.
Yeah. I mean, EMJP, big up, bro. he said what I was going to say on the whole Mount situation. I know people are going to really hate this, but Mount covers two positions.
No. Stop.
He covers two positions, Cal,
No.
and Klopp does like players who can be versatile, bro.
Bro, with all due respect to Klopp, I don't care about that.
No, but that is the reason why I think
ask,
he's one of the main people we're after, bro.
But I'm going to ask you a question, Drift. And I say this saying, God forbid Salah's in terrible form or Salah gets a long-term injury. Are you happy with Mason Mount playing right wing for us?
I'd have to see what he did.
No, you know you're not, Drift. You know you're not.
I'd have to see what. No, but he was quite productive at Chelsea on the right wing, you know.
Drift. No. And shall I tell you why?
If I'm not mistaken, Cal, we had his best statistical season playing right wing for Chelsea, bro.
Drift. If Salah had bad form or got injured long term, and we had, I'm not even going to use Moussa Diaby, and we had Jared Bowen there, could you live with that, Drift? Don't tell me you're playing. All right, then. Why? Because he's a what? A bona fide right winger.
But are you more thinking because he's left-footed and you like the inverted wing forward more? Because
I'm more
traditionally, a right-sided player playing on the right, there's nothing wrong with it.
But what's Mount going to do from the right-hand side, bro?
Be creative.
How?
Crosses into the box, cutbacks, pressing.
No.
Like, Mason Mount is a good player, you know.
No, but not that guy to do all those things from the right, bro. He ain't.
I think but his most productive season for Chelsea, if I'm not mistaken, was playing right wing.
Bro, he ain't the guy to do that in a Liverpool system.
No, but remember, I'm talking about that's not your plan, but because you're limited in who you can bring in, Cal, you're bringing in somebody who can do two positions well. So you're bringing him in to be an 8, but if need be, you've got a player that can play. Because let's be honest, we know we're not going to buy enough players to fill all the backup positions in the team.
No, but this
so
what I'm
I
saying.
Get the logic of buying a player who can play too. I think that's why we bought Gakpo, Cal, because I truly believe that the scouting team you know what? He's actually versatile. He can play here, he can play here, he can play here. So you're not just buying him for one reason. But Mount would be that type of player.
But bro, there's got to be a point where you sit there and you go, not every player should be a versatile or Swiss Army knife. Sometimes you just need sometimes you just need but sometimes you just need a steak knife, Drift. I don't want to be going through and looking at all of this and how am I going to cut this steak? I just want a steak knife. I'm eating steak. I want a steak knife, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. It might be a bit difficult, but you can still butter your toast with a steak knife, bro.
No, but that's the point, brother. It's difficult. You're making it more difficult than it needs to be. Why make it more
can
difficult?
Be done though, right?
No, yeah, but who's gonna do it quicker, me or you, with a butter knife?
Yeah, but if I didn't need to juke something, I've still got the steak knife. What are you gonna do with that butter knife, Cal? By the time you get to the drawer, you're dead.
I'll have to John Wick it, innit? I'll have to John Wick it.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but here's the thing, Drift. Would our competition do that?
To a degree.
You think Pep's doing that?
All right, well, no. All right. Please don't think I'm saying that they're on our level quite yet. But look what Arsenal did with Trossard. I truly believe that Arteta thinks that was a good signing because Trossard can play right and left. And because you can't just... Right. No, because obviously Saka... But if Saka couldn't play, Trossard would have played on the right. He bought Trossard because he can cover both positions, bro.
Saka's form dipped and he still didn't play Trossard there.
But if he'd have got injured, though, because he's a star boy, he don't get dropped unless he's actually injured.
But Martinelli's a star boy there as well, but Martinelli got benched for Trossard.
They treat Martinelli with a bit of disrespect over at Arsenal. I don't think they realise that how.
Nah, they love him over there. Trust me. But
I don't think Arteta does. I don't think Arteta trusts Martinelli as much as he trusts Saka. Trossard would have played right wing, Cal, if Saka had got injured. So he bought him thinking, you are a left forward, but I will play you on the right if need be, so you're filling two positions. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm going to ask you this question, Drift. How many left-footed right wingers are out there? But I could reel off bare names, bro.
But can they play another position in the team, though? Bro?
Do they need to, though, bro?
All right. Hear me out, devil's advocate. Isn't it not a smart idea to buy a player, who's versatile, and it may be a little bit annoying they're not a Bowen or a Diaby level specialist in right wing, but you don't have the horrible scenario where that guy hasn't played for 10 weeks because Salah's in brilliant form, and you can't bring the guy into the team. So therefore, you've got a player who like Mount who could play somewhere else. So we still getting games. And he's not just on the bench annoyed. Because when would Diaby play? If it's say Salah scored a brace on the opening day of the season, then he got us another, and he was just in brilliant form in the opening 10 games. How would Diaby ever get a game? Like when would you play Diaby?
When Salah 60th minute, bro. Bring him on 60th minute. If Diaz is having a bad game, he goes on the left wing. Diaby can play both sides.
Oh, so you do like a player who's versatile. It's just Mount that you don't like the idea of. Then.
No. I just don't want a player who can play so many positions that you just shoehorn it. But I've been
just
quite
two.
clear with
Mount's 2. I just think he can play 8 and right wing, and 10, but we don't play a 10. That's where I think Mount plays.
I'm gonna ask you, who do you rather? Liverpool are drawing 1-1, and we need the 3 points. Salah has to come off. Who would you rather bring on, Moussa Diaby or Mason Mount, Drift?
For creativity, Diaby. For actually scoring a goal, Mount.
Oh, no way. Diaby for both.
You think Diaby's a better goal scorer than Mount?
Yes.
Nah, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Definitely. From that position, yes.
I disagree with that. I think Mount's got a better finish on him than Diaby.
I don't.
Fair dues. I know everyone in the comments is going to kill me, but I think Mount's a better finisher than Diaby, bro.
No, I disagree. But I'll be real with you. There's so many better players out there than Mason Mount, brother. And that's
don't get me wrong. I agree with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not on the Mount ship that much. I'm not on the Mount ship that much, bro. Trust me. I know there are a lot of players that are better than him. I just think he suits what Klopp wants to do with him. And that's why I'm on board. It's about getting players now that will suit the way Klopp wants to play.
All right. To play devil's advocate on that, though, should we be just getting players who can suit the way Klopp plays if he's only going to be here for, 2 more years at max?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because we need to finally give him what he needs so he leaves this club doing what he's supposed to have done.
But as a high-level manager, shouldn't you be able to play with certain other players as well? And I'm not saying just go and get bums or players who are lazy and stuff like that. But you're telling me big bad Klopp couldn't find a way to play with Moussa Diaby?
No, of course.
Oh, okay.
But remember, it's not even just the multiple positions that Mount fills, Cal. What's the sign above your door to welcome people into your house? Welcome homegrown, right?
Yeah.
So, bruv, let's be real. He fills that quota as well, Cal, and you know that we've got to buy some homegrown players this summer. So, like, bruv, do you get what I'm saying, bruv? He's filling a lot of quotas, bro. Like
All right. Do you want me to show you how you can resolve the homegrown thing?
All right, go on then.
Kelleher stays. Adrian goes and you bring in a homegrown third choice. Trent and Gomez.
It's easier said than done, though, to find that guy, though.
I mean, Ron Robert Zieler. I mean, make that happen.
Fair
So that's 4 already, right? Curtis Jones, Henderson. That's 6. That
you need
if
two
I'm going to
more.
be, say that again.
You need 2 more.
Yeah. Promote one of the kids from the youth academy. Or if you're being really, really stingy, you keep Nat Phillips around for another season.
He's not going to stay.
Brother,
it's time he goes and plays. He's not going to stay.
It is what it is, bro. But this is what I'm saying. Like, this is where Klopp needs to change his mentality. That's 7, bro. I only need 1 more. You telling me we can't find one top English player that ain't Mason Mount?
Oh, I don't know if top English players. There's not many of them available, Cal. To be honest,
Declan, bro.
Yeah. If that's the case, but bro, we ain't got 100 mil right now, bro.
He ain't gonna cost 100 mil.
He is, bro. West Ham ain't budging on that. 90 is gonna be the absolute minimum he goes for, bro. Absolute minimum.
Bro, there's so many players out there.
But
Man.
no, after Declan, of Liverpool quality, let's be honest, Declan Rice actually is the only available English player who is of the quality that we know.
I'm taking Jacob Ramsey. I'm taking James Maddison. I'm taking Jared Bowen. I'm taking Elise. I'm taking Elise.
Ramsey, I'd be still worried whether he can take the step up to the higher level quality.
Who, Jacob?
I still think he's unproven at Champions League, like trying to win the Premier League level. So it would still be a risk.
But that's 4 players, bro. That's 4 players I've just mentioned.
Mason Mount's a proven Champions League winner, bro.
Oh, he had,
and he played a big part. Okay, he weren't a passenger.
Don't do that.
Passenger, bro.
Don't tell me he's a proven Champions League man when he's had one good season in the Champions League, bro.
And every manager who goes to Chelsea plays Mount. There has to be something about him if all the managers that go there play
for us, bro.
Look, I think maybe Bowen is the only other English player that I would probably agree with you. But then again, he ain't going to leave West Ham to just hold bench.
But this is where the philosophy changes, bruv. Why are we sitting here saying he's going to hold bench, bruv? Why should he come in and hold bench?
Because he's not as good as Mo.
You don't have to be as good as the next man, bruv. If you're in better form, you play.
Yeah, but come on, Cal. We know that's not going to happen.
Isn't that what Klopp... This is why we got to where we got to, because Klopp had that mentality, bruv. When we brought in Andrew Robertson, all of us collectively said, that's it. Moreno's done. Moreno's done. What did Moreno do? Moreno upped his levels, because everyone forgets this. When Robbo first came to the club, Moreno upped his level to the point where Moreno couldn't be dropped. Moreno got an injury, if I'm not mistaken, at Spartak Moscow in a Champions League last group game. Then Robbo came in and didn't look back. Trent weren't a starter. Klein got injured. Gomez was the starter. Trent came in, showed great form, didn't look back. Did the same thing with Gomez. 18-19. Matip and Lovren got injured. Gomez came in. Was phenomenal. Couldn't drop him. Didn't drop him. Matip, Lovren came back. Weren't dropping him.
But Cal, the only difference is those guys when we bought them weren't of the caliber that we now want.
No, Drift. The difference is Klopp's got favourites now, bro.
No, but think about it. A lot of people are upset about Robbo being purchased. Robbo didn't have the stature to demand to start.
No, but you're missing my point, bro. My thing is, when a man used to perform in Klopp's team, Klopp used to look at the person who was there before and go, yeah, you're sick, but you see this guy, he's been playing so well, you can't drop him. What he's doing with Curtis Jones right now. You see, if when the season starts next season, if we do a madness, we don't sign any centre midfielders or we only sign one, try no Curtis Jones better be on the team sheet starting the season, unless he's picked up an injury or anything. Curtis Jones has earned his right to start, bro. There was a time where Henderson was out the team in 18-19, you know, because his form was bad. Henderson came back into the team against Southampton. We'd won that game 3-1. He got the third and decisive goal. Henderson didn't look back after that. His form went to another level and was our best midfielder in 19-20 because he earned his right in the team, bro. Too many players are too comfortable, bro. The only player after this season who should be comfortable is Alisson Becker. Virgil should be looking right now on Twitter thinking, right, if these men sign Gvardiol or Inacio, am I going to start next season? I got to really up it in pre-season and make sure I'm about it. Everyone, Robbo should be sitting there going, I'm not a guaranteed start, you know. The boss told me Tsimikas is going to play more games and I'm going to be rotated more. I need to up my levels when I play. Bro, not even Salah. Salah had a good end to the season. Salah should be sitting there right now going, I'm hearing they're going to bring in Diaby or Marcus Edwards or Bowen or someone. I might not be a guaranteed starter. Klopp has to change this mentality within the squad. And we as fans have to change this mentality that X, Y, Z is an automatic starter, bro.
I agree, but it's harder. it's harder to convince the player that's coming in, though, Cal. That's the only thing I'm saying.
It's
Like
only
Jared
hard
Bowen
to-
is not. He's not an idiot. He knows Mo is going to play.
All right, but Drift, why does Pep not have a problem convincing players to go to City when they've got other top bad boys there, bro?
Because they can just give the wages, Cal, and sometimes that's
No,
what
because
makes
players
people...
don't care for the wages like that anymore, Drift. They
Oh,
don't,
come
bro.
on,
They want to
Cal,
play.
Come on, bro. They do 100%, bro.
All right, so Drift, why is it Mason Mount wants to leave Chelsea then?
Apparently, it's not just about the money. Apparently, like he's fallen out with the hierarchy of the club.
Playing time, bro.
No, but he's unsettled in everything now. Apparently, like he's just not really happy at Chelsea.
Why did
anymore.
Sterling leave Man City?
I personally, I'm making an assumption here. I think quietly Pep said, "I don't want you anymore."
It was,
but they didn't want.
time.
But they didn't want to make him look like bad, or they didn't want to make it look bad. I reckon Pep set him down and went, "Look, I'm not really going to play you." Like,
it was playing time, bro.
Yeah,
Sterling
that's what I'm
came
saying.
out
But
and said it.
I reckon Guardiola said to him, "Look, I'm not going to play you," and like that's why he wanted to go.
No, Sterling said he left because of playing time. He didn't play as much as he
And
wanted
plus,
to
Chelsea
play.
matched his wages, Cal. He didn't take a pay cut to go Chelsea.
Yeah, but Mason
They matched
Mount
his wages.
No, but Mason Mount, in likelihood, will probably take a pay cut to leave.
No, but he's only on like 70 grand a week or something like that.
Mason's not on 70 grand a week.
He's not on a high wage at the moment. He's still on the contract from when he broke.
But
through,
what he's
bro.
asking from Chelsea, he ain't gonna get at another club.
What, 230 is it? I think, or something like that. He's asked for.
No, but apparently he was asking for 300
Oh, I haven't heard that. I heard it was like 230
or 250, 250,
no, so
300.
Chelsea offered 230, I think it was, or something like that.
But he ain't gonna get 230 at Liverpool.
But I think he'd come to Liverpool for about 180 to 200.
But not
which is
what?
Yeah, I reckon he would.
Thiago money at Liverpool, bro.
No, but remember the game's changed now. Like there's a lot of stupidness going on.
But
in
the game's
right
changed, but Liverpool haven't.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stupidness going on. Like effectively, he would just take Bobby's wage, right?
Brother, we don't work like that, Drift.
That's what Bobby's on. Bobby was on about 190, 180. Like he would just take Bobby's wage.
I'm not disputing what Bobby was on. Oh, brother, Mason ain't gonna walk into Liverpool and get 180. We don't do that round here.
I think we would.
How, Drift?
What you think? But I think we would. Anybody? Here's the thing, Cal. What a lot of people forget when we're talking about like Liverpool's
Mason
budget.
Mason wants 300, bro. He wants 300.
Yeah, he wants 300 from Chelsea, not from us. He wanted free. It's almost like they had to convince him to stay. Do you get what I'm saying?
This is my point. He'd be willing to come to Liverpool, or Arsenal, knowing he's not going to get 300.
Because he just don't want to be at Chelsea no more.
Because that's my point, Drift. So Man City
aren't just you just don't want to be there
saying to the players, come to Man City and we're just going to give you a fat wage. But Foden was on the bench. Big Phil, you know.
But he's an academy player, bro. He come through.
Bruv, Jack Grealish had to sit on the bench last season and this season until he found his form. And then become undroppable.
But here's the thing. A lot of people forget that when there's a negotiation, that's what the issue is. So if you're the only person who wants that player, then you have a massive advantage when it comes to wages. So thankfully, for example, when we went for Diaz, it was only Tottenham, and Tottenham ain't shit. So we didn't even really need to negotiate too bad. If it was Man City that wanted Diaz, best believe, Cal, Diaz would be on a big boy wage because you've now got to have an incentive to stop the opposition getting that player. So the whole world wants Declan Rice. Like Mason Mount, Arsenal want Mason Mount. Like there's competition. You're going to have to like give him an incentive to pick us, bro. Do you get what I mean? Because Arsenal now have a good team. They're a league competing team now. You're going to have to give incentive to make him pick Liverpool. And that's the wages, bro.
But there's an incentive there's an incentive financially, yes. But then Man City also know if I get into the team and I play well, I'm going to get games. Akanji, bro. We all thought Akanji was going to be 5th choice centre-back. What was Akanji doing last season or this season, bro? Locking up Man United in them teams. Champions League semi-final.
Yeah. They kind of had the advantage as well, though, that Dortmund's model is to sell and the Premier League is a step up from Bundesliga and Man City is a massive step up from Dortmund.
So we're not a step up from West Ham, bro.
No, but there's competition. There was no competition for Akanji. That's what I'm saying. Nobody else wanted him,
I'm using
bro.
Bowen as an example here. You're telling me we can't entice, we Liverpool Football Club can't entice Jared Bowen to Liverpool Football Club from West Ham, bro. If we can't do that, then there's something wrong.
We can, but I would be quite surprised knowing he knows Mo Salah is one of the most undroppable players in the Liverpool team.
Yes, but he's got to be, brother. Here's the thing: the word dropped as well. But you can just rest or rotate, bruv.
Yeah, but then we're only talking about 5 games a season for Bowen.
But why
based
is it
on a rest here and a rest there?
Why is it 5 games a season?
Because if he's fit and not fatigued, Mo Salah's playing every game.
So why is he playing every game, Drift?
Because he's our star boy, isn't it?
And then what happens, bro? We burn him into the ground, and then we got.
No, I get that, but I'm just talking about like the reality of the situation, bro. Like, why can't Tottenham replace Kane, bro? Because anyone who goes there knows they're just holding bench, bro.
Whoa, we ain't Tottenham, bro.
No, I know, but you get my point, though.
No, they're not. We're 2 different entities, bro. They can't.
No, we are, but like,
they ain't gonna. They can't go out and buy another world-class ready-made talent. But can.
They should be able to go and buy a Mitrovic, for example, though, right?
Mitrovic to replace Kane, bro.
No, they should be able to go and buy a player of that level to be the cover for Kane. Because Tottenham is still a team that have been in the Champions League for however many years or whatever.
They're worse than us. Their owners are worse than us.
No, but the problem is, bro, is that Mitrovic will think, well, they're going to play Kane. I'm not holding bench for Kane. That's what the problem is. Not he wouldn't want to play for Tottenham. He's not going to go and hold bench for Kane. They just
went and got Richarlison to hold bench for Kane and for Son.
Richarlison, some journeyman. This brother went from Wolves to Everton. He's an idiot, bro.
Journeyman's a living, bro.
Bruv, he's a Derek Chisora of football, bruv. He's just a journeyman, bro.
Nah, big up. I like Chisora, bro.
No, I like him, but come on, man. Like, he was the guy you beat to prove you can go to the next level.
Nah, Chisora's got more credit in the bank, bro.
Bruv, you know, Chisora's got more credit than but you know what I mean. Like it's one of them things.
Right, so you're telling me next season, let's say, for example, next season, let's say we go and got Jared Bowen in the summer. You're telling me we couldn't have Jared Bowen playing Europa and Carabao and FA Cup?
Yeah, the Europa League is where I think we might have that little bit of pulling power now, because there are certain players that will think, oh, okay, but then it also depends on whether Salah is happy to have no European football for the season.
But what is this with players have to be more happy than what's needed for the club?
Because you got to keep the squad happy, Cal.
Brother, I'm going to be real with you. I want to keep the badge happy. How about that? Yeah? If you can't,
yeah, but you keep the badge happy by keeping the players happy.
Brother, if you can't be happy for the badge, bounce. I'm sorry. I'm sick of doing this whole appeasing players, bro. I'm sick of this whole we got to play Milner so he wants to stay. I'm sick of this we got to play Van Dijk so he breaks records. I'm sick of this we got to keep Salah on the pitch for 90 minutes so he can chase Golden Boot. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, bro. I am here for Liverpool Football Club. You think Pep gives a rat's ass about Haaland breaking the goal scoring record? You think he cares, bro?
No, but we've got to be realistic, though, because they're humans.
Brother,
do you know what I mean?
This is a club. Be human in the club, then.
Yeah, but that's how you get unrest, right? When you got players who aren't getting no game time.
Bruv, didn't Cancelo have unrest?
Yeah, and then they had to get rid of him.
Yeah, book him a flight somewhere, then, bruv.
Who, Mo?
No, bruv, I'm talking about anyone.
No. We ain't got the luxury of that.
No,
we ain't got the
club
luxury.
is bigger than any one man.
No, I get that, but we ain't got the luxury of it. Liverpool could have never done what they did with Cancelo. No, but we're not built like that.
I'm using Cancelo as an example. Many of us saw Cancelo as one of the best fullbacks in the league. He started acting up and he was gone. If there's an unrest and you start being disrespectful, bounce. This is Liverpool Football Club. I'm not here to appease players.
Think it's harder said than done, isn't it? So it's easier said than done. So
it's not, bro. It comes from the philosophy, and you make your stand very clear at the beginning of the season. You say to them, guys, look, we want to achieve 4 trophies this season. Are we going to achieve it? Very unlikely, potentially. But you know what? We're going to go for it, guys. That means I'm going to have to rotate you guys. If you guys aren't on the whole being rotated, then you don't really want to be at Liverpool, because we're a big club. If you don't want to be rotated and you don't want to be a part of success, then kindly let me
I
know.
hear you, bro. I hear you. I hear you. I mean, let's keep it a buck as well, though. If City had a problem at left back or right back that cost them winning something, we would have all laughed at the fact that they let Cancelo
I
go.
wouldn't, you know.
They're lucky that he didn't come back and end up fighting them in any way.
I wouldn't. I'd banter them, but I wouldn't say Pep was wrong. But
For letting go of a talent that ended up making them have
you mean a man?
issue.
You mean a man dashing footballs at him in training, bro? Bro, try and let a man dash a football at you and Matt, bro, and see if we don't fight that person, bro. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, but sometimes you can resolve things for the greater good, right?
Nah, bro. Once you do certain things, it's just done, innit? But you can't drift. You can't go into work, and I can't go into work tomorrow and dash a drink in our manager's face and then go, can we sit down and speak about it and try and resolve it? We'll be done. You're done.
No, but yeah, football's a bit different though, because you got contracts that can't be just terminated as easy as a normal workplace, isn't it?
Bruv, it's not about contracts, bruv. You go.
But remember, if Cancelo didn't want to go, there was nothing Man City could have done about it.
Bruv, Pep would not have played that guy, bro. Pep, I'm almost certain. Pep probably went to him and said, listen, big man, yeah, you did what you did in training. I didn't punch you up or get the man to punch you up.
Look at Imran's comment.
Pep probably gone to him, you can stay here, but you ain't playing again for the rest of the season. Or you can find a move.
No, I get what you're saying. But I truly believe that we would have laughed at them if it had come back to bite them because they had an issue with right back or left back, and it would have been like, he thought he was bad. He could have just resolved the issue with Cancelo, but he thought he was bad and he got rid of him, and then boom, look what happened.
But didn't we do that with Saka, bruv?
Yeah, but it probably Saka, it probably was a bit of a bad idea at the time when we didn't really have a good centre back.
Oh, we were worried, but it's something. Looking back on it, Klopp had to do that. He had to. Man,
I still think that could have been resolved. No,
it could. What, him high-fiving Benteke after Benteke scores against us? Nah, bro. No, Drifty, bro. It couldn't have been resolved. And I was Saka's biggest fan, bro. It couldn't have been resolved.
For Liverpool country, man.
Once he did that, it was just done. It was done. Boy, all right. Let's move topic. Player who is apparently wanted and looked at quite highly is Thuram for Liverpool. I think it was Neil Jones who reported this. Again, another player that is very high on the agenda of a lot of the fan base. I want to ask you, Drift. Realistically speaking, how many midfielders do you think we actually need? If we were to sign a left back, if we were to sign a right back and a right centre and a left centre back, and a right winger, how many centre midfielders do you think we realistically need? If Trent becomes a full-time centre midfielder.
You see, I want Trent to be both. I'm not fully on the he ain't a right back anymore. I believe there are games where him playing right back can still be beneficial. So I'm not fully on the Trent in midfield wave. I would probably go with the amount leaving need to be replaced. And I know that sounds very simplistic, but I would actually say three midfielders are going, so 3 midfielders should come in. Yeah.
Okay. Of those 3 midfielders, what type of profile do you think we need?
2 8s and a 6.
I'm glad you said that. And I wasn't trying to trick you here. No one's really mentioning about going and getting a goal-scoring midfielder. No.
But why do you think I've been talking about Mason, bruv?
I'm talking about a proper goal-scoring midfielder.
He is a proper goal-scoring midfielder, bruv.
He's not a proper goal-scoring midfielder. He's not got. He hasn't got that. He hasn't got that reputation of doing that. He actually hasn't.
Yeah, but he's got the capability, though.
But capabilities, or Gabriel Jesus went to Arsenal with the capability of being the top goal scorer in the league, brother, and we saw what he was about. Scored chance he shouldn't score and then missed chance he should have scored.
No, but I think everybody kind of knew he ain't a gunman.
But he has the capabilities of being a gunman, right?
I don't
Yes,
know.
he does. Yes,
I think he's on the ball
don't
work
do
is
that.
what makes him
Drift,
brilliant, not
don't
his
do that. We've
finishing.
spoken about Jesus. He has the potential to be a gunman. You know he does.
I don't know.
Come on, Drift. Don't do this to me, man. We've had conversations.
He's a B-Tech Bobby. I don't know, bro.
Bro, he's got the potential to be a gunman, but we all said deep down we don't know if he's about it.
No, but after watching him at Arsenal now, I don't think he does have the potential. I think, like you said, I think he's a scorer of brilliant goals. He's not a brilliant goal scorer. That is how I would categorize Jesus.
That's a good shout.
But I'm telling you, bro, Mount is a goal scoring midfielder, bro. Mount would get 10 goals for midfield in a Klopp team.
Are we talk about 10 goals over all competitions or in the Prem? Because I'm just talking about Prem.
I mean, you can move the needle either way, but I think he's capable of getting 10 goals in the Premier League from midfield in a Liverpool team. I mean, in Wijnaldum's peak goal scoring for Liverpool, I think was 6 goals. I think he got, and Mount maybe not as good at getting like important goals as Genie was, but I think he's got more of a goal scoring like mentality than Genie.
What about Szoboszlai?
Oh, I saw we was linked with that player today, boy. I'm all about that life, bro. But he's more of an older guard, right? Where he's like more of an actual natural 10.
What about James Maddison?
But I'd be all over that if it wasn't for the injuries. If it was, I'm very worried about his injuries.
But if we rotate him well and we manage our training, which apparently we've sorted out our training now, could it not be James?
I love Maddison, but I think it'll be too big of a risk. I do. I think we got to move on from the players now that like you're 50-50 in their injury record.
And the reason I asked this about a goal scoring midfielder, De Bruyne, goal scoring midfielder and a creative machine. Odegaard, goal scoring midfielder and a creative machine. Why is it we don't speak about this?
We play differently.
But horses for courses, no?
Yeah, we do need to switch it up a bit now and get a goal scoring midfielder. We do.
Because if we're just putting all the onus on the front three to score goals, I know you can rotate the front three, but doesn't that make us become predictable? Because how many times do we see Kevin stand up there and 20 yards out or 25 yards out and go, what, no space now? All right, let me lash this one. How many times have we seen Odegaard do it? When was the last time we saw one of our players do it? Even Bruno for United, bro.
Yeah, a long time ago, man. Oxlade-Chamberlain about 3 years ago was the last time we really had a midfielder that just picks the ball up and lashes it in from distance. He was brilliant at that. It's such a shame how Ox's career ended, man.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah,
sorry about Ryan Shirky. I mean, that would be dream settings, but I don't see.
I think Szoboszlai would actually be the better of all the players to be that guy to get the goals for midfield. Like it's in his DNA to want to get goals, and that's more what you need, I think, because then that player will be more. You don't even have to train them to want to do it. Do you get what I mean? Like it's just natural.
So let's say we did something mad and we bought Szoboszlai Drift.
We'd have to buy a new boxer shorts.
Me too. And there we go. Trent right centre midfield, Szoboszlai left centre midfield.
So you don't want to play Trent in a pivot. You actually want to play him in a free.
I know. I'd happily play Trent in a pivot, but when are we gonna do that?
I think the only way we move Trent into midfield is if we go to a back three, you know, Cal. I can't envision Klopp playing Trent in a back four, in midfield with a back four. I think Trent only plays in midfield with a back three in a pivot. I just don't think
you don't think, as in you don't think Klopp would do it, or you don't think he can?
No, I don't think Klopp would do it. I think Klopp wants a player next to Trent to help him defend in midfield. I don't think he would put Trent in a free midfield with a back four, because then Trent is further up the pitch. I think Klopp still wants Trent to more be in our half than the opposition, Whereas if you're playing 8, if you're playing the right-sided 8, you'll be more advanced more of the time.
Okay, let's put him in the pivot then. Who you putting next to him?
Oh, it wouldn't be Szoboszlai in the pivot. I'd need that to be a Caicedo.
Yeah, that's what. No, Szoboszlai being the 10 then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Then we're cooking. Yeah.
You put next to Trent.
Caicedo then. Then I get Caicedo and you play Caicedo and Trent in the double pivot in the midfield.
What happens with McAllister?
Well, this is just if we're looking at like I pick who I want. Like if McAllister has to be a part of this, then technically McAllister would be that 10 and we wouldn't buy Szoboszlai because McAllister can play that role.
Do you think McAllister would get enough goals and assists from the 10 for us?
I kind of do, you know. There's something about him that I think is ready to be unleashed in a goal-scoring way. I don't think he'd necessarily get more than Szoboszlai, but I do think he's capable. I think McAllister's the type of player who could get the ball on the edge of the box and hit one in. He's got the technique for it.
I don't think he's a great shooter from outside the box.
Not great, but I think he's capable. Remember, you can learn these things. I wouldn't have said Odegaard was a great shooter from outside the box until this season. I'll be honest,
Drift. I think you're kind of born with that striking ability, you know.
But if you see the way he takes penalties, I think he is born with a good technique in striking.
Not disputing his technique, but I'm talking about there's certain man that can just strike the ball from outside the box and you just know it's a problem, innit?
I know what you mean. You've either got it or you don't. In that regard. I get Kevin De Bruyne just has it. I know. I get what you mean.
To be fair, Coutinho worked on it.
That's true.
Coutinho didn't really have it like that before we signed him. Coutinho worked on it.
That's very true.
Again, guys, I think free kicks and shoot from outside the box, 2 very different things.
Similar technique, though. It is similar technique.
I think it's 2 very different things, bro. You're allowed to. When you're shooting from outside the box, you kind of have a split second to make space or look up and know where you're going to put it. It's very different to taking a free kick.
No, I know. In terms of how you execute it, you're bang on. But you don't think the principle is the same. If you're good enough to strike a set piece technically well, you are good enough to strike the ball when you're running with it technically well. Because most people are good at both. So, like you said, Kevin De Bruyne, Coutinho, these type of players, they're brilliant at free kicks and they're also brilliant at striking the ball when they're moving because you just adapt your technique to the difference of the ball moving or not. But you've either got it or you don't, bro. Do you get what I mean? I feel
like it's completely different, you know, Drift.
I think you're normally good at both.
Beckham could run and hit up, but you don't envisage Beckham running and driving with the ball and then smashing it from far out. He could do it now and again, but you knew when Beckham stood up over that free kick, chances are the keeper's either getting troubled or Ward-Prowse, another one. Shout out to MP. But Ward-Prowse doesn't pick up the ball and just start running and shoot.
No, but that's because of the team he plays for and the position he plays in the team.
Maybe.
Remember? And David Beckham would normally curl him. He wouldn't do the Odegaard bottom corner smasher. But Beckham would be 25 yards out with the ball rolling, and he just bend it in. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I suppose sometimes. Again, I don't. Am I being pessimistic when I'm saying or disputing any of this stuff? I don't see how I'm being pessimistic.
No. We're just having a conversation.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think McAllister's capable though, Cal. I do. I think McAllister's capable. I think it might be a pressure that's unnecessary to put on him when you can get someone who's just better at it. But I do believe he's capable. I do believe he's capable.
So does this go back into the whole, are we buying project players as opposed to ready-made players then? And again, before anyone loses their mind, I rate McAllister. I have to keep on saying this because it feels like whenever I say something, people will just go and take it the wrong way.
He's not a project player.
If you think I'm negative about everything Abaseli, go just watch something else then. There's bare other channels on YouTube. Just watch something else.
I think he's ready made. I don't think he's a project player. He's ready made.
But ready made for what we need him to do. I'm not talking about as in he's a project player in terms of is he ready made to
yeah.
No, but I'm saying is he ready made to make Liverpool a title winning team?
Yeah. With all the players around him, not him alone, but he's press resistant, he's intelligent, he can pass, he can shoot, he's got an engine. I literally think he is a perfect Klopp player, Cal. That's why I'm on board. I rate him anyway, but I'm on board the same way like I'm trying to get you lot to understand about the Mount thing. He is a Liverpool Klopp type player. Like, I watch him play and everything about him, he's got the dog in him, Cal. He's got the tenacity. He's good at pressing. But better than anything, he is press resistant. And I think that's what Klopp wants now. I think Klopp wants people in our team that are press resistant. I think that's why he's loving Jones playing in the team, because Jones is quite press resistant.
I was just going to say that, Drift. Most midfielders in world football now are press resistant. It's just
we have a lot. We have a lot that aren't in our team.
But that's because I hate.
No. I don't think Xhaka is press resistant.
Who's that? Sorry,
Xhaka. He's not press resistant.
Yeah, but I would never want Xhaka at Liverpool.
No, but I'm just saying, like, there are other teams that have got starting 11 players that I don't think are press resistant.
No, that's true. That's true. But I'm talking
I
about.
don't think Calvin Phillips. I don't think he's press resistant.
Brother, he don't start for City.
No, I know, but City bought him and they play a brand of football where you need to be press resistant. I don't think he's.
No, Cameron Ramsey is press resistant when he's fit.
Nah, I don't.
No, he is, bro. That was his game at Leeds, bro. He used to get the ball, receive from the fullbacks or centre backs. Sorry,
he was like a quarterback. He wasn't really press resistant though.
Nah, he was press resistant, bro. I'm not saying he was like a Pirlo or Iniesta, but he's press resistant enough for Pep.
All right. He was like a lower level press resistant. Yeah.
He's no superstar.
But Man City bought him though.
Yeah, because he's press resistant enough to play for City and be back up to Rodri, innit? And fill the homegrown quota.
I wonder what they're going to do with Phillips anyway. That's quite. But yeah,
they might, I reckon they'll sell him.
We should be doing a double raid on Brighton though. That's what I'm upset about.
My worry for McAllister, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, is if we buy McAllister, we don't buy any other centre midfielders. We buy McAllister, and all the pressure goes onto that poor guy's shoulders. And I'll be real with you, I don't think McAllister works as well unless we go and get a dog as a DM. I'm talking about the guy doesn't even eat food. He just eats pedigree, bruv. Like, just eats harvest. Raw potatoes. Bruv, one midfielder doesn't do it for us. One midfielder doesn't do it for us.
Do you know how hard a raw potato is, bro? Oh my days.
We need one of them guys. We do need, and that's my worry about this situation. But I don't think Ugarte is the only one.
No, but that's what we need to just go and get.
No, I know this, bro.
And he's got a 50 mil. Yeah, you don't even have to negotiate. You just pay it.
Apparently, he's not wanted by the club.
Yeah, because we're moving mad.
I mean, Saicedo, Ugarte, Rice. But don't take his name down. Take his name down.
He's available, Cal.
Yes, I know he's available, bro. But I mean, flipping. So is Mackenzie Dern. She's single now, brother. You're not just gonna walk up to her and take her on a date, though, are you? Life don't work like that.
Oh yeah, this is who we've been really strongly linked with.
All right, I'm against this one. Not because I don't think the player's good.
Age.
Brother, he's a project. Two DMs doing that project.
Yeah.
We've already got Bichetti to be, like a project. But we need someone for these guys to learn from. You can't have project players and no teachers. I'm talking about teaching through example as well, not just talking to man about your past experiences. Like, we need these players. Like, Lavia's excellent, but it doesn't make sense what we need right now. Lavia's the player you go and get with Flacco's on top form and in peak fitness. That's what you go and do. Unless
we're buying Lavia the same way we bought Elliot, where it's just a future. It's nothing to do with now. It's for the future.
You know how much Lavia's going to cost?
Well, yeah. But you get my point.
To do our future. Drift, I think you're forgetting who the hell we are, bro. We ain't got that sort of reserves like that, bro. We need someone now, Drift. We can't look to the future, Drift. We need someone now.
I hear you.
Bro, it's got to be one of Ugarte, Rice, or Saicedo. It has to be. If we want to get to the level where we want to be. We ain't built like that, Drift.
No, I know. But that's all I meant. Like, if you're gonna do that kind of thing, but I don't know. You know what, Cal? Give me 1 second, yeah? Give me 1 sec, bro.
All right, guys, I'm just gonna check out the poll that you guys have got. So 66% of you said you would sell Matip. 34 saying that you would keep him. Very interesting. Kefren Thuram, guys. Obviously, he's not a DM, but he is an 8. Again, my concern is we keep on getting linked to 8s. Now, Thuram could play in a 6, but I think you'd have to really change his game to accommodate him playing in a 6, where someone like an Ugarte or a Rice, they're already 6s. They can do more, but they're predominantly 6s. Super chats will be read out soon, guys. Thuram, guys. Would you guys be on getting Thuram? And if yes, where does he play, or does he become part of the rotation? Does he become a starter for you guys? Let me know, guys, because for me, if you're buying a Thuram, he's got a start for me, but I don't know. If we're getting Thuram, do we still get McAllister? Like, I'm very... This is going to be a very weird summer of how we do things, because we need so many midfielders. They all know they can't come in and all start. But again, we could have got Thuram in January. Thuram was sitting there waiting. 35 mil could have been got in January. And I know a couple of you guys are saying Kone over Thuram. I also agree Kone over Thuram, but I'm not going to sit here and be upset getting Thuram if we can't get Kone. Like, that would be brilliant. Like, Thuram is an excellent player, but I asked you guys, how would we do? Like, would we change formation? Would we go to 2? Do you think we'd go to a pivot? In my opinion, a pivot would work perfect for us. If we're going with 2 defensive-minded fullbacks, let's say so Gomez and Robbo, who are playing at fullback, like, we can obviously keep we don't have to play with a high line with those 4, for example. Now, obviously, they're not just going to be static, but it allows you to play with a mid to high block as opposed to a high line block, because you've got Trent there who can dictate play, and you can spread play from far and play the quarterback, but he can also drive with the ball if need be as well. If you put someone like, let's say in an ideal world, you get a Rice who's next to him. Rice can break lines with his passing. Rice can break lines with his dribbling. He can also destroy and break up play as well. Where does Thuram fit into this? Let's say if McAllister comes in, he becomes the new 10. I just don't know. I don't know. It's again, it's a weird summer. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued to see how we navigate this summer, because if we don't get it right, then I don't know, Drift. I really don't know. This, for me, I know we say this every summer, but this one really is the biggest summer, in my opinion.
Yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt.
And I'll be honest, if I turn around and I see other clubs doing proper and we don't, we could go from being a Europa team to a team that can't even get near Europa.
Yeah.
We have
biggest summer in Klopp's tenure, 100%.
Also, I want to speak on Schmadtke, who seems like a deal is very close. However, apparently it's going to be a short-term deal. What's your thoughts on that, Drift?
When you say short-term, do you mean 6 months or?
Apparently, I'm hearing just for the summer.
Oh my God, I was joking. Are you being serious?
I
was ramping, bro.
Yeah, apparently. Those are the rumors.
Hold on a minute. This is like when you're like doing a shop fit. So you just bring in a thingy
everyone's
to...
saying that, 3 months. Did you say a shop fit?
Yeah, you know what you know when you bring in the what do you call it? Yeah, no, not even the builders. You know the
Contractors.
not the stylist. You know the person who like says where they think that does the feng shui of the shop. What's that person called again? And like picks
Stylist.
what you're
Oh,
gonna
interior
sell.
designer.
No, what's like they're the one who like purchases and stuff. What's the name? Somebody help me out. This is gonna get on my nerves. What is
Project
the
manager.
name? No,
Not an interior designer. Feng shui master. Architect. Model. Apprentice.
No, hold on.
Consultant.
It's there in my head. It's there in my head. Anyway, we'll
A
move
buyer?
on. No. It will come to me. It will come to me.
Tailor. Personal
It'll come to
assistant.
me. You know what? I'm gonna just Google this, Ross. But yeah, 3 months
Yeah.
for real. Oh my
Window
days.
dresser. Intern.
No, hold on. I've just got everybody curious now.
Dealer.
So let me.
Curator. Someone said shoplifter. The plug.
No, it's the person who does like.
Events manager.
Nah, it's there in my head. Let's just call them the buyer for now,
Cool.
like or the merchandiser.
But
for
yeah,
now.
3 months. This is where I get a bit confused with it all.
In fact, merchandiser. It might be the merchandiser.
Merchandiser then.
Yeah, the
This is why I
merchandiser.
get a
Let's
bit
call it
confused with it all.
merchandiser.
If we've done the majority of the groundwork, what's he actually coming in to do?
And if he's only going to be here for a little while, why would he care?
All right, so for me, the 3 month thing seems as though we have someone who we want long term, but we can't attract that person or get them yet for whatever reason. But my question again, Drift, if we've been told the likes of McAllister and all these players have deals agreed and all that, who's doing that?
I'm kind of knocked for 6, you lot. I didn't know he was coming in for a little while.
He's still stuck on that, bro.
3 what's the point? The only way I would be bringing in a guy to do his job for 3 months would be if his connections were so wild that it was going to mean Bellingham was coming at a cut price. We were going to be able to get Caicedo and McAllister. Like, then I'd be like, oh, shit, we're bringing him into the... But he ain't connected like that.
No, apparently he is connected in the German market.
Yeah, but the German market, I mean, other than Bellingham, maybe that's why, you know...
DRB, Kone.
Oh, that's why you're getting happy.
I'm not bro. I'm confused by it all, bro. Because I've been told for the longest time that Liverpool have got their business or they want all their business sorted by July. But now I'm being told we're only going to get a 3 month apprentice.
Who are we? Richard Gere doing that Pretty Woman. What are we doing? I'm confused.
We do seem to be getting F sideways, bro. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm very confused, bro. I'm very confused.
You know what, Drift?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
A couple bad boys in Germany.
I thought about it. And I thought, okay, yeah, maybe, yeah. I'm gonna have to call us Richard Gere FC, blood.
I mean, let's play devil's advocate here. Let's say we get Kone, DRB, Sabozalai.
That's a lot of players with Bundesliga tax, though. That's a risk.
No, it is, but it's a risk I'm willing to take, bro, because Prem tax and all these other taxes exist as well. I think everyone believes that because you played in the Prem that automatically you're gonna work, bro. We've seen
Tom
it.
Izzy, I get it. You know what? This is why he's coming in, Cal. This is why he's coming in. He's got them German links, Cal. This is why he's coming in.
Respectfully to you and anyone else who's saying Kimmich in the chat, I understand you're trying to make me happy. I understand you're trying to make yourself happy. Guys, there is not a hope in hell we get Joshua Kimmich. There's not. Kimmich is at Bayern Munich. He's their darling, and he plays Champions League football every season. Kimmich is not coming to join Liverpool, where he's not going to get the salary he wants, nor is he going to play Europa League. It ain't happening.
No, I believe if a player wants to change
Kimmich ends up in the Premier League, where do you think he's going to end up, Drifty?
I heard they fell out before he left Bayern Munich.
Okay. Who told you that? What sauce you got? Tomato ketchup? Is that your sauce for this one? Yeah.
I think I dreamt it.
You think Pep Guardiola? Apparently, Pep wants Guardiola already. So I said this to you.
No, you're right. I would be extremely, especially with him losing Gundogan.
They're going to renew Gundogan apparently.
That's still bad because he's a baller anyway.
You think Pep's going to sit there and not even pick up the phone and go, Joshua, you're done over there. We just won a treble, brother. What are you saying? Yeah. That's Joshua's response. Match salary.
But then that's when Klopp's got to get on the phone and be like, look, do you want to get caught up in 122 cases?
Let's be honest, brother. How well have we done in the German market since Klopp's been here?
I think we've only been in it once, isn't it?
And who was that?
Yeah. I think that's why I'm scarred, because I started to realize there are a lot of good players in the German
I'm going to
league.
be honest with you.
But I just keep thinking about Naby every time I think about the German league.
Hold on, you're thinking about
Naby. Sorry. We got Matip from the German
You're
league.
thinking about Naby. There's another one, bro.
Matip?
There's another one, Drifty.
From the German market?
Kanate, Thiago.
Oh, yeah.
Who else, though, Drifty? Here, let me help you out.
Hold on, we got even more. Oh, yes. Yeah. My bad. That was 8 years ago, man.
Coming back to you now, yeah?
Oh, I thought he was going to say Bobby. Oh, this brother.
Klopp, that wasn't a Klopp signing. Bobby wasn't a Klopp signing.
I know, but we still got him from
Kabak.
But now you're just making me remember how bad we've been in the German market with these Karius and Kabaks. And no, you know what? We're probably about 65 good, 35 bad in the shopping we've done in the German market.
Because you look at some of the players from the German Bundes, but Gundogan, we know the story of Gundogan.
He should be a Liverpool player.
Gundogan wanted to be a Liverpool player. Klopp didn't even acknowledge it, bro.
No, but the one thing I will say, Cal, is at that time he was suffering quite badly with injuries, and I can kind of understand why we thought it was a risk on a budget. It's ended up being that he got over them, but you remember he was pretty injured. I remember people being quite surprised. Man City were even willing to take the risk of the year. Like, he used to get injured a lot. Fair play to him, he got over it, but
right. No. How confident are you in this summer's drift?
I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not just trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm just going off of, I'm making an educated guess based off of how things have panned out in the past and how things are in general. I think we're going to sign one midfielder, one defender, and a project player. And I'm not sure what position the project player will play. But like a Ramsey or an Elliott, I just don't know what his position will be within the team. Do you think a project player will want to come to Liverpool after they've seen how Calvin Ramsey and Carvalho have been treated? Yeah, because it's still a dream for most players to play for Liverpool, regardless of whatever. No, you're right. It's a dream, but do you think their owner's not their owners? Do you think their agent or their parents are going to sit there and say, go there? Look. Because I'm going to be real, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been horrific. Calvin Ramsey, before he got injured, he barely was getting anything.
Ramsey's pretty much been injured all year, though.
Nah, he's been fit for quite a few large portions of the season, bro, and he weren't getting a look in. And the reason why I believe that we won't be doing much more than that
is based on, I think, if say it is McAllister for an example, it's a really big fee. Like they're talking about 70 mil, which is a lot of
Oh,
money. And then I think the defender
17
that
for McAllister.
70 for McAllister is what they're saying. And then I think the defender that we buy will probably be like a 40 or 50 mil defender. Like I think it will be a good
70
defender.
for McAllister. Is that how much they're demanding?
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
That's that prem tax there, man.
Mm.
Like,
So,
don't get me wrong, McAllister's good, but 70 mil?
Yeah, so I think we're looking at about 110 to 120 mil on the defender and the midfielder that we buy. I really do have to see Liverpool move the needle and change how they've normally moved for me to believe we'll spend more than 120 mil in one window. Do you get what I mean? I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I'm just keeping it a buck. We have never spent more than 120 million in one window. And if we buy a really good quality centre back or right back or left back of around 40, 50 million pound plus McAllister as well, where's the money going to come from to go and buy another big boy player? Like I'm struggling. I am struggling. Like I've got to be honest. Like maybe Mount, if we can get it for less, and then maybe like we might try and shift a player here or there to make up, because I do believe the club seriously want Mount, especially from what I've been told. But that's the absolute.
You think he chooses us over Arsenal?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't, you know.
Do you not?
I actually, I know you're gonna cuss me for this. He probably suits Arsenal better than he suits us, in my opinion.
But who do you think he would want to play for more, though?
Probably Arsenal right now, Drift.
Do you think so? Even with the London rivalry thing and whatnot, like
he doesn't care. I don't think Chelsea plays.
No, but I do. I think if you grow up in the Chelsea academy,
I don't think Arsenal and Chelsea hate each other. They're just a little bit of a London rivalry.
No, they do hate each other.
If it's Tottenham, it's a no-no.
No, they do. All the London clubs do hate each other, Cal. They do.
Not like that. I think all the London clubs hate Tottenham.
I think if you grow up in the Arsenal academy or the Chelsea academy, you do have a disdain for the other. I mean, he might put that to one side and go for the good of his career, but I think he would pick Liverpool over Arsenal. Personally.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Arsenal have a greater need for him with Xhaka leaving. But I don't know.
I'll be very interested. I'll be very, very interested to see what happens with Mason. But for all we know, bro, Poch could go there and actually convince him to stay as well. So
that is a possibility. A lot of people, he's a Bournemouth fan from what I've been told, because a lot of people have all these rumors about who he like grew up supporting. Apparently it's Bournemouth he actually supported.
Who's that? Mason Mount.
Mason Mount, yeah.
Oh, is it?
I don't know which one is true, but I heard he was a Bournemouth fan growing up.
I feel like that changes though. Like Carragher grew up an Everton fan, and De Bruyne grew up a Liverpool fan. Aguero grew up a Liverpool fan. I think once you play for a team and you have an affiliation, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, sorry, Portsmouth. Yeah, Portsmouth. Sorry, that's it. Yeah, Portsmouth.
I think it changes.
You're right. Yeah. No, it probably does. It probably does change. But because a lot of people said that he's a Chelsea fan, and some people say he's an Arsenal fan. Like, yeah, it's actually Bournemouth. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Yeah. So he's got no dog in the fight, really. But then he's grown up through the Chelsea ranks.
Yeah,
so I guess you learn to hate a little bit.
Yeah,
you know,
I think he's got genuine love for Chelsea. I do. But time will tell. Right, let's help these super chats before we let the people go, Drift. Shout out to Nizam Aziz, who's just become a member of ours. Big up yourself. Jay says, you seen the Kimmich link, Cal? Yeah, I have. I can't. I'm numb to all of this now, guys. I'll be real with you. I am. Last year's Cal, who was fresh off potentially going for the quad, would have been all over this. I'm numb to it now.
Shit, if I do
it. Jay says, if you can play for one club outside England, who would it be?
AC Milan.
probably go Dortmund.
What, based on now or just like your whole life? Because I'm basing AC Milan that growing up, like that was the team that I thought was such a wicked team that wasn't English.
I'll probably say based on that, like again, without getting political, there's been quite a lot of racism in Italy and all that as well. Like, I do like Dortmund. I've got a soft spot for Dortmund. And maybe because I love Klopp so much and Klopp came from Dortmund as well. Like,
Dortmund are a very nice family orientated club.
Like,
so, yeah.
It might be Dortmund for me. Jay says, I know it's a broken record, but can you touch on it? Yeah, we touched on that, Jay, on the Vinny situation. If he ever leaves, would you take him over Diaz? Yeah, we would. Yeah, he's better than Diaz. Diaz is quality. We love Diaz, but Vinny...
It really hurts to say that out loud, though. I
don't
Diaz.
think it should. Like, Diaz is a quality footballer. Vinny.
No, not you telling the truth. Just me thinking about having to get rid of Diaz.
Oh. To hear it says this club has no standards, no ambition from players, manager. We know that owners don't care. Club has till December to improve, otherwise out. What's your thoughts on that, Drift?
We'll be here for about another hour. We get into that. I'm not gonna lie.
Without getting into it, because I again, my stance is clear. I've made my stance clear. I know you don't agree with it, so I'm not going to do the back and forth with you. But if we started the season badly, how long are you actually going to realistically give Klopp, though?
Klopp's got minimum another whole season before I start to change my stance on whether he should be.
I'll rephrase that, actually. Let's say Klopp gets the players he wants, and we still start the season badly. And let's say we get to December and we're sitting like 7th, 8th in the league, and we're looking like we might not even get top 4. What would you say then?
I would still stick by him. I would change in formation and change in philosophy is something that does take a little bit of time, and it's something I think we have to have the patience to be ready. That could happen, like they could take a little bit of time before he actually fully manages to get the team to know exactly what he wants and it works and such and such and such. But definitely, I wouldn't be saying like, yeah, I think he should go or anything like that. Not at that stage, anyway.
Fair dues. LTAB says, why are we linked with right-sided centre-backs like Timber? I don't know. That's me being honest, bro. I don't know, LTAB. A couple of you asking how long would I give Klopp. I've been pretty consistent up until December, unless it starts going really bad before that. I think he should get up until December.
The thing that I find
giving him a whole season. So for me, giving him a whole season is crazy, Drew.
The thing that I find quite mad though is
far behind in the season, like we have this season.
The thing that I find weird though, bro, is that like you've never said Klopp out, so like it doesn't really apply to you because you said December, but you didn't say Klopp out. But the people who said Klopp out, what I find mad is when we went on the run and we started to play well, and they realized that he was changing and he had a plan and he wasn't being stubborn anymore, they were like happy and they knew there was a project and it was looking good. And then literally just not beating Aston Villa has immediately made them revert back to that they want Klopp out thing. And it's like, I just find it a bit like flip-floppy, but not even just that. Like, where is your patience or loyalty in any way, shape or form? Like, sure, yeah, we're all disappointed with that. We didn't get top 4, of course. We all are. But like one game messing up in a run that's been really good cannot just make you just straight away go back to that. It means you never left that mentality in the first place, really. So that means that like you kind of was always still against Klopp, even though we were winning and you were waiting for him to make the mistake so you could pounce back on it. And I'm like, that's weird to me, bro. Like, I find that really weird.
I think some people are like that, yes. But I think if I'm going to look at it from another side, I think the damage was done before he went on the run. I think the frustration is that he didn't make any changes before we started going on a run. Some of the games in the run, we were very lucky to win. The Tottenham game, bruv, was a diabolical game when you look back on it, bruv. The fact that we're 3-0 up. Hear me out. I hear you, but when you look back on the season and the fact that he made so many mistakes and kept on making those mistakes, and then we had a good run, which was 6 or 7? Was it 6 games we won on the bounce, right? was it 7?
7.
It's when you take 7 out of a 38 game season, it's hard to turn around to those people and go, how can you turn it? Because realistically, they're looking at the bigger picture. Whereas for me and you and Matt, we're looking at it going, he's turned it around in those 6/7 games. Hopefully he can continue that. Whereas they can turn around and go, well, 31 games before that. Now, obviously, we had wins in those 31. It's not like we lost 31 on the bounce and won 7. But those 31 games before that, barring the Bournemouth game and the bloody Man United game, we were looking at it going, bro, we're struggling in games here. Like the Leicester, for example, that watch along you and Matt did before the end of the year, but 2 own goals for us to win against Leicester at home. When you see Leicester and 19th in the league struggling, like it's not just an overnight thing. It's not an overnight thing. So even though I don't agree,
10 games unbeaten now, Cam.
No, I hear you, but again, the Chelsea game, bro, we're extremely lucky to get anything out of that game. The Arsenal game,
no, I just think that we were both crap in that game.
No, bro, they had a couple goals disallowed and all, but Chelsea played us that day. The fact that you weren't rotating or dropping players when they should have been, bruv, he's done a lot of madness this season. The reason why I say I give him up until December, because he has got credit in the bank with me. I can only speak for me. He's got credit in the bank with me, and I've seen how great he's been. I'm happy to, but December's the most. I can't give him a whole nother season, but we've gone from 2nd to 5th in one season. But if we have another bad season, we can go from 5th to 8th or 9th. I can't have that, because the level in the league now is so high, it's so good. Players are so hard to get hold of when you're not in momentum. You have to look at it and be like, you've got to be careful. And when our goalkeeper is our player of the season, it's kind of mad. And then again, on the other side, when people say I'm never going to be Klopp out and all this, I respectfully, I ask you guys, are you Klopp fans or are you Liverpool fans? Because you got to pick or choose sometimes, and I'm always going to pick Liverpool over the individual. If I look at Klopp and I sit there and I think he's not helping us or taking us forward, then we got to find someone else. And again, I know the first thing people are going to say for is careful what you wish for, or who else is going to replace Klopp, or who you're going to get to replace Klopp. And I'm going to say off the top of my head, I don't know. But we have lost bare players in the past and said, how are we going to replace this player? It's football, you move on. Like Klopp's already said he's leaving in 2 years. What, we're going to turn around and beg him not to go? If he turns around and says I'm leaving, then we still got to find a replacement. So
yeah, but that's different though, bro. Him leaving like off his own terms and whatnot. But I don't know, man. Most of the players that we have at the team are here because of Klopp. Like, you're not just losing Klopp, the manager, you're also losing Klopp, the pool. Because if you go and put someone like De Zerbi in charge, which for some crazy reason people think is already good enough to be a Liverpool manager, who does De Zerbi attract with this dead ownership and this poor budget we always have? Who wants to go and play for De Zerbi? No one, bro.
We don't know though, Drift. We don't know.
No, but brother, we're just using common sense. Nobody wants to play for De Zerbi. Not these big top boy players. They want to play for Klopp though, bro. I
mean, but here's the thing though, Drift. You're not just playing for the manager, because if Bruno Guimaraes went and played for Newcastle, Eddie Howe, bro, I guarantee you Bruno Guimaraes didn't really know about Eddie Howe.
Yeah, but that's an outlier, bro. No, we're talking about like genuinely speaking.
Went to Newcastle to play for Eddie Howe, but players are going to Sven Botman went to Newcastle to play for Eddie Howe.
Newcastle are like billionaire ownership. That's a bit different now. That's a really fun project going on over there. So that's an outlier.
No, but if you can sell the project, bro, it doesn't then become about the manager. And if you're just not becoming about the manager and you're selling the project to the club, that could potentially be good in the long run as well. Bro, if we talk about
project did Liverpool sell with De Zerbi?
I'm not disputing that.
What project is that, bro?
No, I hear that. But look on the other side, bro. Carlo Ancelotti was bringing in players to Everton, bro. The moment he left, them players went as well.
So I can't. They're dead.
No, but I hear you. But sometimes, having a manager who has pull is a good thing. But if that manager doesn't work out, it might work against you as well. So it's got to be both. Like, let's be honest, we're not a dead club. Like, everyone in the world knows about Liverpool Football Club. So we're not just buying
Yeah,
players
but
based on Klopp. Klopp might be the one getting
remember
over the
everything
line.
that came before Klopp under this ownership, bruv.
No, I hear you. I fully
If,
hear you.
if we don't have Klopp at this club and don't replace him with a player of Klopp's level, we go back to Brendan Rodgers, Roy Hodgson. I'm
Potentially.
100% sure, especially with everyone else being great now. Chelsea, Newcastle, Arsenal, all
Chelsea
the
are
other teams being no, but like, come on, man, they will be back. Like, they got the money, like they
completely
will be
agree with
back.
her, yeah.
Yeah, they will be back. It will be worse than how it
No, but
was
to say we have
before.
no pulling power without Klopp, bro, I think is very disingenuous because we
No,
can
if you also put us back down to like 6th or 7th position, like you're saying, so we was to drop down, they got rid of Klopp. We're in a position now where we're not in Europe, and now we've got FSG as the owners. Who the hell
yeah,
are
but
we attracting?
if we're not in Europe, that's down to Klopp, bro.
No, but I'm just going on this like crazy journey of like there's no European football, Klopp's gone, and we're FSG, and we're bringing them because you know FSG are probably going to go and get like a De Zerbi as well. It won't be some manager they got to pay 20 million a year. It will be like the Brendan situation where they get someone who's
So
got
Drift,
promise kind of thing.
right now, all due respect, let's say Klopp goes in the summer. Obviously, God
Mm.
willing, it doesn't happen. What top managers are out there that aren't attached to a top club already?
I don't know, bro.
So
That's why I shudder at the thought of Klopp not being here.
But brother, but this is what I'm saying, bro. There's a new wave of managers coming in now who aren't necessarily proven, but we still have to make that move, bro. Like
I
we
don't
will
want
have
no
to.
Arteta settings up in Liverpool, you know, bro.
No, but brother, it doesn't have to be our. But brother, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Klopp's the second oldest manager in the league. This is a young league now with managers, apart from Hodgson. Sorry, I think it's Hodgson, Moyes, and then Klopp.
Yeah.
So, brother, it's a young league now.
Well, it depends what you mean when you say young, because no, David Moyes is old.
Yeah, but that's what, bruv, two managers are older than Klopp in the league. Let that sink in, bro.
Oh,
There's
yeah. No, I get that. But what I mean is it's not young as in like, I think all the managers are still like at a good age to be a manager. Like they're not all like 30s or early 40s or something like that. They're all like a good age.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So you might not get someone who's quote unquote proven, but you surely can do your research to see who's got patterns of play that can help you. Like you can't sit there, bro, and say De Zerbi would be a disaster at Liverpool when De Zerbi could potentially finish.
No, I'm not saying it'd be a disaster, but what I'm saying is he's unproven, he has no pulling power. And in a situation where like your Newcastle or your Man City, where you've got the financial power and a project that's looking positive, you can maybe have an Eddie Howe because people are looking at the project. But if you're Liverpool and the FSG, don't give out high wages, don't have a high budget, always have to try and make their scouting spectacular because we can't make mistakes. Do we have time for a De Zerbi based on what you like? It's not a Brighton situation where if you fail, okay, we go again. Like, well played. Liverpool is you win. You're a Liverpool manager, you start the season, you win everything. That's what the mentality is to be a Liverpool manager.
But the mentality hasn't been that recently, Drift. With Klopp, there hasn't been that.
Because of the owners. The owners have pulled us back down no matter what's going on. The owners have done have always made sure that it's eventually been it like the Klopp can push us as much as he wants.
The owners, bro. I hate the owners, but it can't just be them all the time.
It is, bro, because they set the precedent, they set the pace, they set the budget. They're the reason why everything goes wrong, right? Whatever. At the end of the day, it is them. They are the be all and the end all.
They're not Drift. All right, bruv. How many times did we go school or go out and do something silly outside the house, knowing that our parents didn't bring us up to do something like that? Bruv, you can't turn around and say it's the parents' fault, bruv. It's our fault.
No, but there comes a point where you think, well, maybe the punishment wasn't really bad enough because the kid probably wouldn't have done it if the punishment was going to be bad enough.
All right, so Drift, if we were sitting here and we were 5 points off winning the league, but comfortably second, I'd be agreeing with everything you're saying. But to not get top 4 with this squad, I'm sorry, bro. That comes down to Klopp. You can't tell me that Man United...
It's half and half.
But Man United haven't got a better squad than us. Newcastle United haven't got a better squad than us, and neither have Arsenal, bro.
And plus, in the 6-7 years that Klopp's been here, this is the only season that you would call a disastrous season.
2021 was a disaster of a season as well.
Yeah, but that was definitely not Klopp's fault. And we still got third in the end.
I mean, there were some aspects where Klopp was to blame.
I believe that even though Klopp does take blame, obviously, for things that go on, the majority of the problems at the club, even some of the things that why is Klopp doing this or why is Klopp doing that?
Milner was going to get Klopp wanted Milner to get a contract renewal, bro.
But that wouldn't be an issue if there was 3 or 4 other bad boys coming into the club.
Klopp,
remember, we've had this conversation.
If that's an issue.
Look, I told you we're going to end up. Let's not, because the Klopp situation always ends up being.
The fact that Milner had to come out and say that the manager wanted me to stay, but the club had a different idea, that worries the hell out of me, bro. Klopp wanted Bobby to stay as well. You know how much I love Bobby. It's time for Bobby to move on.
I disagree. I think Bobby should have stayed.
Of every player we've lost on the freeze because Klopp wanted to keep, and they turned around and said, "Nah, I'm gonna go," or the club stepped in. But that's not good project management.
And I truly believe, I truly believe that even though I know Klopp does love to develop players, FSG have forced their way into everybody, even the fan base, of deal with budgets, deal with all becoming accountants and always penny pinching and thinking of this and what about this and how can we do that and rare. If FSG were a proper ambitious group of owners, Klopp would have got on board and been okay, cool. So if I don't like him, I can just get him, yeah? All right, cool. It's like they've forced everybody in the fan base, everyone in the club, to just accept we're on a budget, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, make it work. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm not saying Klopp hasn't made mistakes, of course he has, but everything that's gone wrong at the club, generally speaking, has trickled down from FSG and become a problem everywhere else. It just has.
If we were going, bruv, this time last year, when we missed out on the league by a point, for me, that was all on FSG. Because we should have been given the funds to get more than just Konate.
I mean, even that's a good point, Cal. Nobody would have saw these players falling off this much this season based off of how well we did last season.
But Drift, I'm sitting here right now saying this season's more on Klopp than FSG. Because Klopp, at the beginning of the season, told us fans to shut our mouth. We don't need a midfielder. We went for Schumann, he didn't get it. Now, hear me out, Drift. We can't take.
Then we're going back into them. Is he just Drift, covering for them?
If he's covering, then he's just he's a part of the problem. Drift, we can't sit there and listen to a manager say, "Shut your mouths, fans. We've got all the midfielders we need. We don't need a midfielder." Then we get into the season, we get some injuries, and he goes and gets Artemella on loan, scampering around on the last day of the season, of the window, gets Artemella in. That's bad management. That's bad planning.
And you think that was Klopp's idea?
Brother, yes. Or else we wouldn't have got him.
Nah, I think that's just the only choice he had, so he took it.
Bruv, Mateus Nunes was there, bruv, and he said no to Mateus Nunes.
Did we have the budget for Mateus Nunes?
Yes, Drift, we did.
Where's the proof of that, bro?
Where's the proof we didn't?
FSG's whole 12 years in charge.
No, it's not, bruv.
Bruv, FSG's whole 12 years in charge.
Where did Gakpo money come from then?
We just moved the summer transfer forward. Like we did with Diaz the year before.
We couldn't have done that with Nunes. This is my point, bruv. Whether he's had a wonderful season or not, EMJP, he's still a player. Are you all right? Is Mateus Nunes better than all the midfielders we've got? Probably. Who's going to argue with that? Because if anyone's going to tell me, and again, no disrespect to any, in fact, I'm not even going to name players. If you're going to tell me right now, Mateus Nunes doesn't start for Liverpool Football Club, I'm going to say you're a liar. And he's not even phenomenal, but he starts for Liverpool Football Club. So my point is, Drift, if we were sitting here having this conversation, being a point or two or 4 points, we're 4 points off fourth place. If we were 4 points off Man City right now, I'd be saying, you know what, Drift? We need to go up to Anfield. We need to really rally. We need to get these owners out because we're so close to getting over the line. But, bro, you cannot sit there and tell me that Man United, Newcastle, Arsenal, Brighton have got better squads than us. Bro, no, they ain't. They haven't.
Yeah, I know, but there's a lot of circumstances involved. Like I said, last season took it a lot out of them. The players mentally might have been not ready to go again after the disappointment.
How many points are Arsenal?
There's loads of of parts to this puzzle. It's not as simple as just one thing. It's easy to look at it that way if you want to just blame Klopp. But if you really deep it all, there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle. Last season, we were brilliant. It's the same group of players. It can't just be Klopp's fault why this has happened. There's got to be mental issues, physical issues, things you can't really foresee. We're all looking at this in hindsight. Yes, we all knew we needed a midfielder, but nobody would have thought the drop-off of these players would have been this bad. Like, nobody can tell me they believe these players would have fallen off in terms of their performance. It's not Klopp on the pitch, you know.
We're 22 points behind Man City, bro.
Because these players, for some reason, couldn't get themselves up for it again, bruv.
Because they've been running to the ground by the manager that we're talking about, bro. And he did.
No, but it can't just be that. It cannot just be that, bruv. There has to be. There's loads of pieces to this puzzle. It's not a simple equation, in my opinion.
Most
Anyway,
of the pieces unfortunately fall at Klopp's feet, bro.
I fully disagree. He takes blame, of course he does, but I disagree, man. There's a lot of factors in why we've ended up having the season that we've had, and it ain't all on Klopp.
No, I'm not saying it's all on Klopp, but I think he takes the majority of the blame this season. Not for his tenure at Liverpool, but this season he has to, bro.
And if anyone could tell me, that he wouldn't have bought midfielders if he had the budget to get who he wanted, then I'd even call that like defending FSG.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Drift. The other day, Jurgen Klopp was asked a question in his press conference and he was asked, "Are you going to get a defender this summer?" Do you know what was his response?
I didn't see it.
His
I'm
response
guessing he said yes.
He laughed. No, he laughed and said, "A direct question. I like it." And then turned around and said, "We look at all the departments to see where we can improve." Why didn't he say that last summer when he was asked about midfield?
Maybe he's been told he's got a budget this summer.
Or
and
maybe
last year
he's
he
changed
didn't.
his mind because he's seen that the team isn't good enough. But a man can change his mind, you know. But
I still don't believe.
As much as you lot joke about it and call me Jack Sparrow, bro, I changed my mind, but I'll own what I've said previously, bro. I'll own it. But Klopp said what he said last summer, bro.
Why did Klopp want Schmadtke if he didn't believe we needed a midfielder?
I think he did want Schmadtke, and I think we tried to get Schmadtke. But once he saw we couldn't get Schmadtke, I think he was more than happy to go with what he had.
No, I know he was told he ain't got the budget, so keep it moving. We'll buy you a player next summer.
So again, I ask you, why didn't we get one in January when we got Gakpo then instead?
Because they want Gakpo, and that money is waiting for the summertime for us to be able to buy midfielders this summer.
Buy the centre midfielder in the summer then?
Well, like you said, people can change. What I'm hoping and what I think's happened is FSG have actually watched what's going on and they've realized, oh, we might have to actually put more money into this because shit, this is starting to go wrong. Klopp's dragged us across the line every time on this budget and we've taken advantage of it and it's finally come back to bite us. Maybe we do have to. And we'll have to see if that happens as well because we haven't spent any money yet. We're going to have to actually see if we do spend any money, which I don't even think we will. But let's see if they spend.
We spent quite a bit last summer. Again, we did recoup quite a bit, but we did spend quite a bit last summer. So,
but like you said, bro, we didn't really because we sold players to cover the incomings. We did. We literally covered the majority of the Nunes money.
We haven't, bro.
With sales.
No, because where did the Gakpo money come from then, brother?
Bruv, all the money that should be in the club from the night deals and winning the trophies and getting to finals of Champions League. Count all the money that we've made over all these years. Where is any of it, bro? Honestly, where is any of this money we've made over these years? You know already, bro. Our profit was up to Man United's level.
No, but that's what. All right, I want to clear. That's the one.
And they still spent more money than us.
No. I want to clear that up, Drift. I want to clear that. I'm going to use me and you as an example here. Because I think people hear that we made more revenue than Man United and automatically think we've got the same spending power as Man United. But as a group of guys who've got a platform here with a good amount of people that watch and listen to us, we have to clear this up once and for all. Drift, if you have been making 50k a year for the last 20 years and I've made 55k in this year only, but previous years I've been making 25k, bro, we ain't the same. You've got wealth that I can't touch. Just because I've beaten your revenue or your income 1 year doesn't mean we have the same spending power. We don't, bro. Man United spending power is different to us. That's why I don't compare our spending power to Man United. I don't compare it to City. My
But
issue is
it's not quite that black and white, Cal, because
no,
we've
but
been catching them slowly for the last 5 years, and they have actually ran out of funds. They
but
actually aren't. No, Cal, they
Drift,
are actually in problems unless they get bought out, bro. Why do you think they got Veghorst on loan in January, bro?
I'm
Their
talking,
money's ran out, bro.
All right, forget about this summer coming, Drift. I'm talking about up until now, bro. Up until last summer, we can't compete with Man U financially, but they've been doing this thing for 30 odd years, bro.
But they were running out of money while we were catching up, bro.
But they ain't run out yet, bro.
No, the point I'm making is you're right that they're still bigger as an institution than us.
I'm
Yes.
not. I'm just talking about money here. We saw.
Remember, they're in debt, you know, Cal.
No,
Remember, they're in debt.
Most
bro.
businesses operate at debt, though, bro.
Not again, a billion.
No, but
they're in £1 billion worth of debt, Cal.
Bruv, people hear the word debt and think like it's the worst thing. Bruv, a lot of companies operate in debt, bro. Like it just is what it is. I'm saying because we got the same revenue as Man United, everyone expected us to spend like Man United. We ain't there yet. And again, I'm not making an excuse for the owners because I want us to spend that sort of money. I'm not one of these Liverpool fans who turn around and say, if you don't spend money but you win stuff, you're doing it the right way. Bro, I'm good spending money. But we can't compare ourselves to United. We ain't the same. We ain't got that sort of money.
I'm not saying compare ourselves, but for one summer we can. Even we don't like continue. Bro, we've been outspent by Villa, Fulham, Forest. Bro, these owners need to just go, bro.
Okay, so why is it?
Where is Nottingham Forest and Fulham getting the money from to spend more than us, bro?
Well, they're taking out loans, which again, I don't have a problem doing.
We're 13th in the expenditure across the last 3 summers, bro.
There. But why is Klopp not doing more?
It's madness, bro.
Is Klopp not doing more about it then?
What can he do, bro? He's been told he's got a budget and he's just got to deal with the budget, bro.
So why
he wants to be Liverpool manager?
We're gonna go around in circles, but then he can't moan about being upset about it, bro.
No, it's not about moaning. It's just about there are different circumstances, there are different facets. There's more pieces to the puzzle, which is what I'm saying. And at the end of the day, if we're really deep in what happened this summer, which has eventually ended up being what's happened this season, Klopp wanted Schmadtke because he could see the midfield needed an upgrade. He was told Schmadtke's going Real Madrid. And then there's got to be a reason out of his control why he didn't get another midfielder. And it can only be the budget. Do you want Bellingham or a player of the same level of Schmadtke? Yes, I do. Bellingham ain't available this year or so-and-so ain't available. We'll do it next year. Yeah, then, okay, cool. I've got the same team that just nearly won the quadruple. We should be all right. We probably won't win the league, but we'll be all right. We'll still be in the Champions League, etc., etc. No, but what I'm saying is, then you have to look at the fact that how could anybody have foreseen how the players have dropped off the way they have? It's hindsight we're looking at this in now. Nobody could have foreseen that. So even if it's Klopp's fault that we win again, it's not Klopp's fault that these players are just dropped off a cliff. And then on top of that, why weren't Klopp just given the money to go and get a player he felt was good enough to replace the Schmadtke deal we didn't get? That's because our owners don't have the ambition to do it. They're always looking for the easy way out financially, bro. Always.
How many times has Klopp gone in for a player and then turned around and said, I'm not just going to buy a player for this? These are Klopp's words again. I'm not just going to buy a player for the sake of it. It's got to be the right player. It's got to be the right player.
Yeah, because of the way we operate. Because we can't just dash away Bravo after spending 40 million on him because he ain't good and then go and buy Edison. We've got to hold Naby for 5 years at the club. Because
no, stop. We didn't have to hold Naby. Klopp decided to hold Naby.
Because he's never going to get replacements for him.
So we couldn't replace Naby in the whole time he was here. In 5 years, we couldn't have replaced Naby.
The budget has never allowed us to be able to write Naby off and just go, do you know what? Even if he sits in the reserves, who cares? Like, it is what it is. We've got to move on. We've always got to try and make the most of it because we ain't got money like that, bro. That's always been... It's always been the way we've been under FSG, bro.
So in the whole 5 years that we've had Naby Keita, we didn't sell him because FSG told him you can't sell him.
We didn't sell him because nobody gave an amount of money to us that we felt was worth it after spending 58 mil. Because if someone offered 35 mil for Naby, I guarantee you would have sold him. I guarantee if somebody had offered 35 mil for Naby, we would have sold him. But nobody offered the amount that we felt was worth the asset that we spent 58 mil on. Because we ain't built like that, bro. We are not built like that,
so
bro.
we should just hold on to these dead players just for the sake of it.
No, we shouldn't. But our owners will never do anything to allow it to be possible for us to move on and not worry about how much money we've lost and all of that kind of stuff. So Gino Wijnaldum left this club because they wouldn't fucking give him wages he deserved. And look where that got us, bruv. Look where that Klopp sat down in the press conference and said, I begged the owners to give Genie what it took to keep him. We couldn't work something out. He's gone now. Like, the
Genie one I agree with, but you're saying we couldn't have sold Naby, we couldn't have sold Ox, but we've had offers.
No, we could have sold them, but the offer wasn't what the club felt was the valuation.
We've had offers for Nat Phillips, and we haven't sold these players. Like,
but have we really? Because I've never heard anything official with any of these things. The only thing that was official is Wolves wanting Origi.
I mean, we've never heard anything official about FSG, but we come to these conclusions, though.
No, but there's a lot of actions that back up the rumors we hear.
There's a lot of actions that back up what I'm saying about Klopp as well, bro.
No, we're talking about people wanting to buy these players.
No, but
there's no evidence of this.
I've been talking about the reason we didn't get top 4 this season is because Klopp made a series of catalogued mistakes throughout the season, stemming back from the summer where he said he weren't going to get a centre midfielder unless it was Tchouaméni. You've changed it to be the ownership. I'm saying if we're missing out on the league, that's on the owners. If we're missing out on top 4, that's on the manager. Our squad is good enough to get top 4, even with injuries.
No, but that's the point. That's part of the equation. The player drop-off is unprecedented. Nobody could have foreseen these players dropping off this much. Nobody, bro.
Drift, how quick into the season? So hold on, you're telling me that Fulham game, the first game of the season, we didn't sit there and go, we need midfielders. We didn't sit there and go, we need something extra.
Of course.
So how can we see this as fans, but our manager didn't then? And the coaches and all that didn't?
I'm not saying he didn't. I just explained. He knows he has to get it right when he spends because we don't have a lot of money. So he thought, I will wait to get the right person because I don't just want to buy anybody and then it will stop me getting who I really want. And then we're kind of stuck with this player. Because that's what happens. If we'd have bought Nunes this summer, we're not getting no McAllister. So we'll be stuck with Nunes. So that's the future of Liverpool. Nunes in midfield. I don't even want that. I know I didn't want the season we just had, but I don't want that.
Let me ask you a question.
That all comes down to budget, Cal. It all comes down to budget, bro.
Not winning the Champions League, is that a failure based on how we are as a team this season? It's probably not, is it? It's about right?
Well, yeah.
Not winning the league, it's painful, but you wouldn't say it's a failure based on who we are as a team, right? As a squad.
It kind of is a failure if Liverpool don't win the league, but yeah, context has to be added to it.
Yeah. Not getting top 4 is a failure, bro, because we should be good enough to get top 4. That's on the management and the coaching and all them, bro. It has to be.
I'm not saying they don't hold some responsibility, but 30% is the highest I'm going to it being on Klopp for how the season ended up being based on all the things that happened prior, and now we're looking at in hindsight.
So was it all right?
It's very easy to make that decision.
Was it FSG playing Gomez at centre back when we didn't have to? Was it FSG not changing the formation? Was it FSG playing Henderson as a number 8 this season? Was it FSG playing various strikers who were out of form or not scoring goals? Was it FSG doing all of this, bro? Because it didn't seem like.
There wasn't many.
FSG playing? Was it?
But there wasn't many options.
Was it FSG saying Salah's got to play as a wide forward now as opposed to an inverted striker where he's had the majority of his success? That's not FSG, bro. They don't do any of that stuff. That's the tactics.
But so the players that are at Klopp's disposal are because of FSG.
The players
so it still goes back to them.
All right, so let me ask you a question then, bro. If we go through the summer and we don't buy number 6, who's that? Klopp or the owners?
Well, at this stage, we don't know. We don't know if it's budget. We won't know. We really won't know.
I put it this way, Drift. If we don't get a 6 this summer, that's on Klopp. Because it
depends who we buy and how much money we spend.
That's him saying, Fabinho had a bad season. I'm good with him. Henderson will cover there, and so will Bichette.
Yeah,
we know. Me and you deep down know.
No. I think that there is a chance Flacco could recover, and it was just
but deep down, me, you, right here sitting there say we both want a 6. We both want Ugarte or someone of that ilk.
Yeah, of course.
So if Klopp turns around and doesn't get someone of that ilk, bro, that's on him.
But where's the budget coming from? It's not going to manifest itself out of thin air. There has to be a budget. And let's be honest, if you look at our team, if you could only pick one midfielder, Cal, what would it be, an 8 or a 6?
A 6.
You would actually go with Henderson, Thiago, and Jones as the only 8s for an entire season.
Bruv, I'm getting a 6
Bro.
over everything else.
So you would go with Thiago, Hendo, and Jones, Cal, as the only 8s in the Liverpool team for an entire season. When we've got Flacco and Basetic that can actually play 6.
We've got bodies who can play there. Capability is a different argument, bro. I'm going with
it would be madness to not go and get an 8 based on what we've seen this season.
All right, so let's turn it the other way around. Trent can play as an 8, right? Jones can play as an 8. I don't like it.
I think
Henderson can play as an 8.
Trent plays in a pivot, not as an 8.
No, hold on. No, we've seen Trent play as an inverted right back, more of an 8 than a 6. We've seen Henderson.
No, more of a 6, bro. I'll say it's more of a
Thiago, Basetic, we've been playing in the 8. Bro, the 6 is so key to our team. Have we not realized by now that our success is built off when Flacco was at his best, in his best form? Gakpo can play as an 8. Who can play as a 6 if Fabinho?
No, but can they play the 8 well, Cal? You're saying they can play there, but can they play it well?
Apart from Basetic, who plays the 6 well, bro?
Well, first off, Basetic plays the 6 well, so there is somebody there that can play it well.
Sample size, and he's a kid, bro.
And you're going, and again, remember what I'm saying is we're basing it off of we've just got to pick one, and you're using common sense. Common sense will tell you Flacco could be able to recover, and you've got Basetic. Common sense tells you Jones, Thiago, and Hendo ain't doing up 8 all season, Cal. There is no chance that those 3 are doing up 8 all season. Thiago will be injured. Henderson's not good enough anymore, and Jones, that's hell of a lot of pressure on Jones, bro. 8 is more important than 6.
I'm taking my chances that I'm gonna rotate between Trent. If I've got a dash Gakpo in there, I'm dashing Gakpo in there. If I've got a dash Jones, Thiago, all these man, I'm dashing them in there, Drift.
6 yeah, but now you're
no, 6 is vital, Drift. If we don't get a 6, we're done. Go and get all the 8s in the world, bro. If we don't have a capable 6, we're done. We ain't gonna win stuff.
Look,
you win leagues and Champions League based off your defense.
I don't agree we need a 6 more than an 8 if you're only picking one, but
have to, bro. It has to be a 6 more than an 8, bro. We need both, obviously, but if you put a gun to my head and say you got to pick a 6 or an 8, you got to go for a 6. You have to. You got to protect that defense.
Yeah, but if the number 6 hasn't got any protection, it doesn't matter what he does.
Yeah, but if the 6 is good enough, the 6 can protect themselves, bro. We've seen it with Casemiro this season.
Nah, not really, because Man United, look how much he started to struggle when he realised there was no one around him. Second half of the season, Casemiro's kind of been poor, you know.
Flacco's been poor for the majority of, 9/10.
No, but what I'm saying is Casemiro had the energy to be able to like do up that 6, and then it's like the team took the toll on him, and then he just like got dragged into the foolishness, and then at the end of the season he wasn't looking anywhere near as good as the beginning. But anyway, I disagree. I think we need an 8 more than a 6, but
we need both, obviously. But
obviously,
I'm picking a 6 over an 8. Jay says, how can Jude play in Spain with that abuse? Crazy his price drop from Madrid, isn't it? Would you take Kudus on the right? I like Kudus. I wouldn't take him as a winger, though.
I'd have him in the team, but yeah, I'm not sure as a winger.
Wouldn't have him as a winger.
I was thinking about Jude, thinking about the racism thing before he makes his move to Madrid still.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally wouldn't, but each their own, man. Jay says, where was Benzema for Vinny Valverde? Yeah, I hear it. Here's the thing. I don't think they should have to run to his aid. Like, that should just not happen, but you'd like to think they'd be around, innit? But yeah, it is what it is. Sadiq says, as my mum used to say, if you can't hear, you must feel. Fact. Wakey says, Naby had to baby-proof corners on his phone. That's deep, man.
That's savage, man.
Oh boy, poor Matt's not even here to defend. Ride Shotgun says West Ham is waiting for Jude deal to price Rice, possibly.
That's a good point, actually.
A bit of a silly thing to do, considering Jude has a higher ceiling, he's more coveted, and he had more years left on his contract, and is leaving a Champions League team who's potentially about to win their league, but he is still a top quality player. Rice right now is a better player than Bellingham, but I think Bellingham obviously has a higher ceiling.
West Ham know they hold all the keys to the cards though, Cal, because whether it be City or Arsenal or Man United or Chelsea, all of those clubs are desperate for the player that they know can play, plus they can create a bidding war. So even though he's only got 1 year left, West Ham do have a lot of power in the situation at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. Jay says Cal rates Marcus Edwards. I'm not saying I rate him highly, but I mean, is he better than Harvey Elliott on the right? I think yes. So
he's a good player.
Star Dazen says Ox 150k, Naby 150k, Milner 150k, Bobby 180k. A lot of freed up wages, total of 630k to use. We have a lot of work, to be honest. A lot to work with, to be honest.
Milner went down to 50, remember, for his last year.
He didn't. He did, Cal. He didn't, bro.
He took a wage reduction, bro. He
didn't, bro. He didn't take a wage reduction.
Bro, he did, man.
He didn't take no wage reduction, bro. And if he did, bro, he got appearance fees, which, let's be honest, he definitely made up for it. Wakey says, I have a gut feeling Nunes won't come good next season. Ooh, that's a whole nother show in itself.
Nah, your gut's lying to you, bro. Just have some peppermint tea.
LTAB says, Cal, do research on Mount's goals, 11 goals and 10 assists in 21-22. I hear it, but let's break it down. Where did the assists come from? How were the assists? Because if I'm not mistaken, a lot of those were from set pieces. Very different to outfield creativity. Jay says, the more I watch Caicedo, the less convinced I am. Oh, interesting.
Oh, wow. You might be by yourself, bro. The more people watching, the more they are convinced of him. So
I'll stick with what I said about Caicedo. I think he's an excellent ball winner, but I think he may find it difficult in our team with us being possession based. But he can definitely improve that aspect. It's just how long he'd get to improve.
Right in a possession pace, Cal. That's why I'm kind of confused that
he doesn't do a lot. He doesn't do a lot of the possession. He breaks up play.
He kind of does, you know.
Around it. I don't know.
He can travel with the ball well as well. I don't know. That's mad.
Jay says Tyler Adams if Leeds get relegated. Not for me personally.
No, not for me.
Jay says, I think the system changes a lot next season.
I think we become more flexible than we've ever been next season. I think we'll have a number of formations to play, and it won't just be one way.
Jay says Kimmich wants to leave. Casemiro left Real Madrid for Europa United. Jay, you're really pushing his Kimmich, man. We ain't about that life.
He's right, though. But yeah, we're not about that life, but he's right, though.
AM says, by the way, Drift, we didn't get your take on Mane thumping up Sane.
It all depends what Sane said. If Mane was out of order because it wasn't that big of a deal, then Mane was an idiot for that. If he said some of the things that I've heard rumors about, then he should have punched him twice.
He shouldn't have stopped punching. He should still be punching him now.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? So.
Ed says, with Ox, Bobby, Milner, and Cater gone, that's over 400k a week off the wage bill. Remember, we have to work up to 70% of earnings. We have headroom. True. Joe says, why do London clubs hate Spurs? I don't know. They just don't seem to get on with Spurs.
They're an easy target. Yeah. I do think they get a lot of slack because they're an easy target. Because there's no reason to hate Spurs, right? Because generally speaking, hate comes from hating, and hating comes from the team being successful.
No, but we hate Everton.
Yeah, but we don't hate Everton as much as Man United. And the reason we hate Man United more is because they win.
Maybe, yeah. Good shot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. James says, big up to Kop-Ish, thoughts and praise with Matt. Matt's cool. Matt's all right. Matt's good. Nothing crazy going on behind the scenes or anything. Matt's good. Just can't make the show.
Although everyone can take those prayers. So
Ye-
big up yourself, man.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
Give me
just
some as
general,
well, please.
yeah. If it's general prayers, yeah. But Matt is cool. Matt is good. Anthony says LeBron got swept and considering retirement peak. Oh, is that why you're saying praise for Matt?
Oh, okay. The mad thing is though, isn't LeBron 38 or 39? Like, I would have thought by now he would be considering retirement. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I told you I don't speak about NBA unless I get a bag in it. Hugo says Newcastle playing like prime LFC and and we weren't. I wouldn't say they were playing like prime us. Had a good season. Newcastle had an excellent season. I'm not even going to downplay it. They've been brilliant this season.
I still think if we'd have won our game against Villa, though, the pressure might have caught up with them. You know,
but we didn't.
That home draw with Leicester, maybe Chelsea could have done something. Yeah, we didn't know. Isn't known.
Mel says, I want to see Klopp with a different number 2. Klopp is more of a man manager, a motivator, not a tactician. With a different number 2, we have more inspiration. Yeah, we ain't losing Pep though. Klopp loves that guy.
Although I do believe we have to get rid of this myth that Klopp isn't a tactician. Because it started to go wrong, people are now saying he's not a good tactician. Players themselves come out and say that Klopp is the one who decided to do this or do this, and that's why this is this. Remember, Buvac left because Klopp wanted to go in a direction Buvac disagreed with, and we won everything under what Klopp wanted to go with. I think it's very disingenuous because a few games when he's not really good on the pitch and he doesn't change things. And
fell out over Pep Linders' growing influence.
But it was also because he wanted to take the team in a direction that Buvac didn't agree with. Like tactically, Klopp wanted to do the wing back thing or whatever, and Buvac is like, "Nah, you're changing how rare. You know what I mean? We won everything with that system. Is that not Klopp being tactical? Like, I don't know. I think it's very disingenuous that because he hasn't done well in some games during the game, which happens to all managers, by the way. I'm sure there's games you can go and watch of Alex Ferguson or Guardiola doing like poor tactics. You're like, what the hell was that all about? Guardiola's lost Champions League finals with poor tactics. Like, it's very disingenuous to say Klopp's got no tactics.
Ed says Alonso at Leverkusen may be ready in 2 years. Maybe.
Remember, we spoke about this, Cal. I think Alonso could become a top manager still.
Jamrock says there's a solution to get top 4. Jurgen Klopp realized too late. I agree with that. BC says when Klopp has had money, even Coutinho money, he spent it right 8 times out of 10. Owners ain't put up the money when needed 8 times out of 10. No, agree with that. Sultan says big up Cow and Drift. Monday ain't the same without the show. We need a serious
Sporting
SD
director. I think he
I would disagree. Big up yourself, Drift. I wouldn't have worked that out. We need a serious sporting director that will disagree with Jurgen on some decisions. Man would keep Milner till 60. No comment. LTAB says Fresh Prince or everybody hates Chris. Fresh Prince for me.
Everyone hates Chris.
Wow, that's a conversation we'll have off air.
Everyone hates Chris is my shit, bro.
We'll speak off air. Guillaume says Klopp is a yes man. He had a budget to spend. Jay says I told Matt the Lakers were finished. Jay says Everton was successful, plus they used to be in Anfield. Makes sense. Historic. Yeah, it's true. Idris says hasta la vista. I'm guessing you're Man United fan. I think Idris. Enjoy your Champions League season where you won't win it and then you'll probably be back in Europa. Jay says De Zerbi will be our next manager. He'll be ready.
I hate you done though.
Mr. Sinclair says Jurgen Klopp changing his tactics late. How long was Konate been injured prior? Because without him, the change wouldn't matter. Transfer marked highlights it. And Sultan Shakur can win versus Haney. Drifty, was it a robbery? Have you watched the Haney Lomachenko fight?
Yeah, I watched it live. All right. I was struggling to stay up. I was full of Hennessy, and I think the fight was a bit too tactical for the state I was in. I just wanted to see someone get knocked out. It was a chess match, innit? I was tired and I was lit, and I might have to watch it back to really give a proper like. I fell asleep in the 10th round, so I didn't even see like the last round. But from what I've heard, I think a few people think that maybe Lomachenko did like just pip him. I thought Haney was doing all right. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to watch it again, you know. I'll have to watch it again still. A lot of people think Shakur beats Haney. I think people are downplaying Haney just a bit, but Shakur is good. I think Tank beats them all, though. That's my opinion.
Yeah, so I think Loma won the fight. I don't like the idea of saying it's a robbery. I think the word robbery gets thrown around a lot. I think a close fight can still have a bad decision. Robbery for me would be like if Loma clearly won like 8 out of the 12 rounds and they gave it to Devon. I scored it 7-5 Loma.
Okay. There were very close rounds. Yeah, they were very close.
And the thing is, you could make an argument for 6-6, which is a draw, or I mean, 6-6 is the most. I can't make an argument for Haney winning.
What was there any ridiculous scorecards, Cal? Was there any like that had like Haney like way ahead or anything?
There was a 116, 111, which was crazy, I think.
Yeah, that sounds like a bit of a stretch. Yeah.
Again, Alexander. So just to bring this up as well, I won't spend long on it. You see the whole he was a challenger fighting like this is like you can't like the whole narrative of you've got to rip the belt away from the champion. Like for me, I don't wash with that. If you scrape a round against the champion, you still won the round. So if you win enough of those rounds, you win the fight. I don't like this narrative as you've got to make it clear. If you win the rounds, you win the rounds and you've won the fight. I don't like the narrative of you've got if you go to someone.
We've had this discussion before. I still kind of get where he's coming from, though. As in, I do believe, and what you're saying mathematically is literally fact. So what you're saying cannot be wrong. There is a part of me though that just thinks if you're gonna take the belt off the champion, it can't be like some. Oh, did he win? Didn't he? I don't know. There should be some kind of prestige about being champion. Like someone's got to take the belt off you. Like I don't know. I'm not really like. I'm not really
switch it around and say if you want to stay champion, you've got to defend the belt to like a champion. Then, if that's the case, like it can work both ways. If you win the fight, you win the fight, whether there's a belt on the line or not. If there's a belt on the line, then you get the belt. Whether it's a close fight,
no, I hear, and logically, you're right. That's why I can't really argue against it. But I understand the argument of people saying like you've got to like take the belt off the champion, not like, oh, was he good though? Was it thinking where he got? Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
For me, Loma won 7 out of 5, but it wasn't a robbery at all. It was not a robbery. And just because, in my opinion, Loma beat Haney does not diminish how good Haney is as a fighter. Like Loma is phenomenal as a fighter. Like if you lose to Lomachenko and it's a close fight, you're sick. Like you can't be rubbish and lose to Loma in a close fight. But I still think.
What did you make of him crying? Do you think that was him knowing that he's done now?
Who, Lomachenko?
Yeah, because he proper broke down in the changing room.
Possibly. It could just be, brother, going through those fight camps and all that, brother, it takes a lot out of you.
No, but Lomachenko has made the stronger stuff. I don't think he'd be crying just because of the loss.
With all the conflict that's going on back home in his country and all that as well.
Yeah, maybe.
There's a lot going on, I think.
Like, you just got overwhelmed, maybe, like with the whole situation. Yeah.
Sultan says Robbie Rui was O'Malley winning versus Yankow. Again, I actually scored the fight to O'Malley, so I know that splits a lot of people's.
I'm quite surprised.
I scored that to O'Malley. Yermo says Klopp wouldn't work in teams like Barcelona. He's a yes man, but I don't know if any manager really works at Barcelona.
Yeah, Guillermo is on Klopp, boy. And to be honest, bro, being at Real Madrid, you kind of have to be a bit of a yes man because you don't get to pick the players; you get given the players. That's one of the number one teams where you ain't really got nothing to do but just coach. Like, you
mean,
don't really get a say
nah.
or anything.
I think Zidane and Carlo, they ain't yes men.
No, but they don't get a say in who the club's buying and all that kind of stuff.
Zidane and Carlo, I think definitely.
Perez don't listen to no one, bro.
Nah,
he buys whoever
I think he
wants,
listens to
bro.
those two.
I don't think he does.
Right. Well, people, we are going to wrap up there. Just going to see the final results of the poll. Yeah, the majority of you would sell Matip. 65% of you saying you'd sell Matip. I can't hate on you guys. I understand where you're coming from. Even if I disagree, I don't think it's a wrong answer. It'd be interesting to see what we do in the summer. Drift, anything you want to say to the people before we take them out?
Big up as always, man. Smash that like button. And yeah, man, we're in the Europa League now, innit? We got to get used to it.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we know we're always playing on certain days and there's no more 12:30 kickoffs. Hey, let's try and look at the bigger picture. No more. And you want to know what? For everyone who has that kind of myth of like, I'm not saying it's a myth because there's a lot of proof that it could be real, but like Europa League messes up your chances in the Premier League. Arsenal actually in the Europa League were brilliant. And then when they got out of the Europa League, that was when they started to play badly. So let's not, look at West Ham. West Ham, not this year, was it last year? Weren't they like in Europe, but they still had a good season? Like, I think you can be in the Europa League and have a good season. I just think maybe the teams that are normally in Europa League aren't quite good enough, and it reflects in the league, but people just kind of think it's 1 + 1 = 2, but sometimes it's not. So if we get the squad right, we should be all right to do Europa League and to do Premier League. So don't get too worried about that.
If we get the squad right, we get a favourable draw in the Europa League group stages, we should start the season very well. There's no excuse, in my opinion. Hence
Plus, Europa League doesn't kick in until a month into the season anyway, Cal. So you can try and get a little bit of momentum anyway.
This is why I give him till December, because that you should only maybe get one good team in Europa League group. If you only get one other good team, then you can rest players and you can rotate, leaving players fresh for the Premier League. So we'll see.
Let's not get it twisted. I'm not really a man who just puffs out my chest and says, we got this, because I always get like a bit paranoid and a little bit like, and I think I'm going to jinx it and all that other dumb shit that I know is just stupid. But I'm saying right now, we should be winning the Europa League. And I'm saying that with chest. It is a major disappointment / failure. Obviously, we've got to add context as the season goes on. If we don't win the Europa League, there should be nobody in that league, in that competition, or that drops out the Champions League that should be able to beat us and knock us off. Like, there shouldn't be. So we should be essentially looking at a trophy next season.
Agreed. Sultan says, Cal, will you stream the next pay-per-view? It's been a while. Yeah, I've got I'll be doing an interview on the Sanderson show this week with someone. So I'll probably release it at the weekend or just before the weekend, and then next pay-per-views in June 10th, I believe. I'll do a couple of shows before then as well. So yeah, we'll have some stuff coming out on there soon. Just last couple of weeks been chaotic, so I'm not at the time. So yeah,
we're definitely coming to Dublin as well. We make that final, 100%.
God willing, yeah. God willing.
Got to drink some of that Irish whiskey, bruv.
God willing. Right, well, people, not sure when we're going to be back. Thursday we'll be back, Prem Panel Show. So make sure you look out for us on the Prem Panel Show on Thursday. We'll have the call-in show on Friday. We'll have a preview before Sunday. And then we'll have our last game of the season watch along with you guys. If you haven't already, please do smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Till we see you next time. Stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kop-Ish. All right, people. Take care.
Peace.